fucking reason.
Let me, check.
Like
Yes.
You should be live.
Sweet. I think the music's a little loud. Let me drop that a bit.
Heck if I know.
Yeah, chat. I'm gonna need some feedback on the quality of the music. Oh wait, that fucks up everything. Wait. Never mind.
Oh my god, there's...
Forget everything I said.
There are so many people in this call that I don't think all of them fit on the screen.
Hooray!
Everybody barely fits, I think.
Oh, no, you're right. Yeah, it's everybody. Hi, guys.
Am I just squeezing on at the very bottom? Yes,
Yeah,
I am.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
You're
Looks
like
that
perfectly
way.
cut off.
That's okay. That is 100% fine. So, hey everybody that came out to this. Are there ads now? I don't know what fucking Twitch Prime does, or Twitch whatever the hell happened to me does.
Affiliate.
I'm not seeing ads. I feel shafted here.
I believe in you.
Heck yeah. So thanks everybody for showing up to this stream. I have no idea what I'm doing.
Cool.
Sure. Yeah, that sounds good. I just got this Twitch affiliate thing, so I figured this would be a good time to celebrate and be like, hey, what should I do for the custom emote avatar thing? Because it's either Foe or Steve-Up. Those are the two most requested. It should not be Steve-Up. Really anything but Steve-Up.
What was
Swarm?
Swarm's good.
what was the other one other than Steve Abu?
The dumb dog thing I've got as my
Oh.
avatar, yeah.
I see. Okay, I misheard you. I thought you said foe, and I'm like, I don't know who foe is.
Oh yeah, that's the character's name. Also, Goot's a good one.
Yeah.
What? Yeah.
I'm gonna run for a bit. I will return shortly.
Okie doke.
Bye.
Boy.
They got a music track. Yeah, so I showed the channel that... Yeah, I showed the channel that has the song on it and the... Yeah, no, I don't want to confuse people. So, yeah, thank you for everybody for coming out. I think we're just gonna hang out and probably answer some questions and fuck. I can't think of anything else.
And fuck.
Yeah, and fuck.
Wow.
Wow.
Oh, dream come true. Here we
First
go.
ever J affiliate stream. 18 plus, no girls allowed. Celebration.
Why are you...
Sorry, boss. You know the rules. But yeah, no.
You heard the not girls.
So, yeah. Thank you everybody for coming along. I think we're just gonna chill out with our group of expert panelists and answer some questions. So if you've ever had a burning question to ask any of these people, now is your time.
Do we need to introduce who each of us are?
Oh, shit!
I don't know. I just
like
throwing it out.
genuinely do we?
That's why I'm just asking. I don't know.
Yeah, no, fuck it. It's tradition at this point. Okay,
Introduce ourselves late?
Yeah, introduce ourselves late. Okay, first things first, we have the answer to Are We Alone in the Universe? Introduce yourself, Will.
I guess I'm the reason. No, we're not. I'm a voice actor. I have participated in multiple streams on this channel as Sweaty Goblin, Nydia, who else was I? Loken, and I think probably something else. And I also run Ebon Ward,
Hell
which will actually be starting tomorrow. So we're getting back finally.
over.
Yeah, no, just scrapped it all.
Go watch Ebon Ward, it's really good. Also, there was a very, very good suggestion in chat, too, that we should introduce each other. Yeah, rather than ourselves.
To make it easy, do you want to just have, like, introduce since Will started at the top of the Discord, Will introduces Burn, Faust, etc.
Yeah, that sounds good, and I introduced Will, so that kind of works.
Okay.
Yeah, it's gonna be awful.
Oh, it's gonna be awful.
Let's do it.
All right, everyone, I'd like you to
Will?
meet or remind you of Burn.
That would be
Go for it, Burn.
That's it.
Wow.
Fine.
wow.
One Piece poster
And
with
we've already come to blows.
Okay.
Burn's One Piece poster with a 2-berry reward appears. It's Burn.
The name
much
isn't
is
even
known
Burn.
about
It's
this
Take It
person.
Away, Burn.
Ooh, get a little echo action.
Oh yeah, no, Foss when she talks is gonna echo a little bit on that shit. Also, like as an old-timey bandit name, Take It Away Burn isn't bad. I can put that on a wanted
Alright.
poster.
Good save. Good save.
So up.
Good save.
Up next is Faust. She's an amazing person that is involved with TI, along with Corsairs, which is something that I'm involved in.
Leans in.
Plug.
Alright, and then next is the ever fantastic Jello, a master of improv and hot takes. He has a YouTube channel.
I'm putting Master of Improv and Hot Takes on my next business. Next up, we have my super secret new step cousin Matt, who's a fantastic addition to my life and a great connection to a bunch of cool people that I don't get to hang out with enough.
Aw.
Yeah.
Back at you, Jello.
Can we turn down the fun music? I mean, music? We can barely hear Foss, they say.
Uh-oh.
I'll turn down the music bit.
I'm working on my computer while also streaming.
Yeah, she's in the far corner. And she's not quiet due to technical issues, she actually is just far away.
Hi, I'm Faraway Fox.
Now that's a good bandit name.
Far away Foss.
Oh, damn, Faraway Fox.
Always just on the horizon.
Yeah, she just got...
Never
The
sure
moment
if
you
threat
know
of
she
fear or
strikes, you look out to the horizon, she's just a dot.
Yeah.
Yeah,
What you call
anyway,
it?
in order to keep the inertia going here,
Yes.
unless, sorry, Jay, I didn't mean to. cut you
Yeah,
off.
good question. Will, when's Evan Ward tomorrow?
Tomorrow it will be at 2 Central Standard Time on twitch.tv/warped lamb.
Be there.
Yep, we're starting a whole new adventure. The party's going to Cragmer's Fister. So. Ooh.
Is
That
the
name
of the
isn't
adventure?
nearly dumb enough.
Sorry, we're not going to Simsalabim yet.
I gotta admit, Will, you have a flair for naming things. I really like.
I'm
like
glad
naming
you
things
think
so.
so.
What? Do you get shit? Really?
Oh, are you fucking kidding me?
Really?
Yeah, no, Will is fantastically awful at it. It's great.
I
It
like
wraps
it.
back around.
I personally enjoy it. Yeah, Toter's
The map of his desert is like abracadabra, alakazam.
No, it's abracadabra. Okay, get it
Oh,
right.
I'm sorry.
And it's right next to Hocus. And there's 2 rivaling cities known as Hocus and Pocus because I'm a fucking genius.
That's actually freaking excellent. I really appreciate your titles. Oh my god.
There you go.
Okay, so sorry, Matt. I detracted from your introduction.
No, please. Next up, we have Majin. Super cool voice actor, dude. Incredibly talented and friendly, who I cannot give a worthy introduction. Over to you, Majin.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you.
Alright, so this is Piff. He was born in Uranus. No, I'm kidding. Piff, I know very little about you, but you're probably one of the friendliest guy. You make great jokes. I believe you stream video games and you do a good job at it, correct?
You got about half of that right.
That was very flattering and nice.
Piff, from the 4 days I've got to know you, you have become one of my favorite friends.
Aww.
Aw, that's insulting to the rest of us all.
That is 0% correct.
That is a challenge for the rest of you to get better.
Guys, the aw thing is flashing. Come on, you have to do it.
Take it away, Piff.
Thank you, by the way. This is Civ. Civ is a fantastic person that rows a lot.
Dark elf sounds.
Just dark elves
She
about.
has fantastic art. I've seen quite a few of her friends even just gush about her. And gotta say, she's pretty swell.
Aw.
That's the end of me. I'm done.
I'm not sure if Civ's actually here.
Oh my god.
Do I not
Here's
get an
fucked
introduction?
hard stabby over here.
Yeah, oh my god.
Aw.
I'm Jello doing an impression of Civ. Sebby is great. He has a
Sounds like
good
you-
personality. Yeah, I mean, what do you want?
What do you
His
want?
icon is a cute doggo, which matches his personality.
Duh. Yeah, that sounds about Civic. But you missed the part where you disconnect randomly in the middle of it.
Wait, what are you?
That's 2 hours.
There you go. That was like better.
Oh, yeah, okay, so introductions are now out of the way. That was a brilliant idea, whoever had it. I can't remember. Who's taking
No, we've been saying things this whole time!
The fact that we couldn't hear you didn't tip you off.
Well, I did, but I was trying to reconnect, and I was wondering why everybody was talking over my jokes and why you took credit for my town names!
And the
Civ
joke
did
of the
name a lot of
stream-
those towns.
The joke of the
Alright, so Jay is everyone's favorite. He's a wonderful dude. He goes third wheel and now does stuff on this channel. And he's our GM for Curse of Strahd. And he's the Norse god of God.
Thank you, Civ!
You're welcome.
All we heard was Norse God.
No, I got most of that.
I mean, we know it was Norse god of smiles.
Oh God, that was the saddest, kindest intro.
Oh, that was, yeah, no, that was excellent. So, yeah, here we are, ready to answer whatever questions you might have. I saw a bunch of them go by. I have forgotten literally all of them, and I am deeply sorry.
Yeah, send those again, folks. Much
Yeah.
appreciated.
Oh, it sounds like a new person just entered the
No,
ring.
it's just me back again.
Yeah, but you didn't get introduced,
Yeah.
so you're
Oh,
new.
Do it all over.
Oh my god.
Well, Jay didn't introduce anybody. So.
I did introduce Will.
Yep.
Yeah, that's true. No, we've gotta close this circle 100%. Who should do it?
Let's all introduce Chula together.
Oh, that's
At the
right.
same
One
time.
word at a time.
I can introduce
No!
What a nightmare. We should do it.
All right,
Yes,
all right.
yes,
we start with
yes.
Will.
Okay.
Chula.
Is.
Sad.
Very,
Chula, you don't get to introduce yourself. That's it. That's the game.
Sad with a strike through.
very.
Wonderful.
And
He.
Can.
Voice act.
That's 2 words.
What was that word?
Okay,
Voice act.
voice act.
voice
I wanted to do something about cats. Damn it.
And she can cat, yeah.
Oh my god.
Period.
All right,
We did it.
Oh.
Thanks for coming out, guys.
And that's the stream, everybody.
As you can see, we are excellent at improv, so you should definitely watch this channel.
I can't believe I got stuck with the punctuation mark.
Oh, buddy.
Nux will.
Persona 5 regret theme, Jay.
I've got that in this playlist.
Yeah!
Here's a good question from Tora. How do you RP a charismatic character like Marcus and even Rick Shades? Thank you. I'm glad to be the and even.
And even that guy.
Hey,
I feel like it's
characters.
unfair. I feel like it's unfair for Rick Shades to be an afterthought in that sentence.
It's
really.
fine. No, Marcus is super, like, he is the most charismatic character. I'm glad to be an afterthought in that sense.
Quotation marks charismatic.
Yeah, so, like, I think this question's mostly aimed at you, Matt. How do you do the Charmos Marm?
Yeah, Matt,
Oh,
how do you
gee.
do it?
Oh god.
Who
Is
wants
here
to
where
be
it
a
all comes
millionaire
crashing down? I
spotlights?
don't know.
Charm
I'd
us.
say, let's see. What was the question again? I saw. Let's see. So,
How do you
you're
charisma?
socially inept. I'd say like just like crank your normal enthusiasm up. Make them like really eager to meet new people in the world and interact with new things that they've never seen before. Yeah, just
Be
make
polite
them
and
want
say
to
nice
discover
things.
things.
Yeah.
Yeah, also say nice things.
That's really good advice. Like, I think energy's the key.
Don't
Energy
trip the
is
barmaid.
key, yeah. I mean, like, unless she has it coming. But that's a rare occasion.
Ooh, here's a good question. There's two questions. I gotta get to Gross X's question because Gross X is a ghost lawyer and I can't avoid those.
You have to take that
legally.
question.
Yeah,
You're legally obligated.
But here's immediately before that, there's a question: how did you meet all these lovely folks you call your friends? Faust I met in Halo 2 because she was.
This is storied.
Yeah.
This is storied.
We met in Halo 2 and she was good at the video game and one of the only not jerks. So I'm like, hey, you're cool. We should chill out because you don't call me names online.
I hope you two get married and someone at your wedding asks that, because that will be the least satisfying answer physically possible.
Thank you.
I was good at Halo 2.
I was very good at Halo 2, thank you very much. Beyond that, in order, I think I met Matt next on my first day of college when we discovered we were mutually huge weebs.
Yeah.
We
Great
both
realization.
We both went to One Manga, I think was the name of the site, and were mutually furious that it was taken down and replaced with all
Oh, me
original content.
too!
Yeah, right?
Me
It's
too!
some bullshit, right?
Right?
I still miss it.
I lost all of my forum friends. I could
Okay.
never meet them again.
Okay, mangahere.com, mangahere.co is actually great. Oh, we have an Aram now!
Oh, is there?
Where?
Ooh,
Sorry,
now
Stabby.
we're
Looks like you have
one
to
by
talk
one.
more. Or are we doing another one word at a time?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes!
Will.
We gotta.
Will.
We gotta.
Aram.
Is-
Hi.
No.
Oh.
You're being
I
introduced
see
to the
what we're
stream.
Nope, that was it. Aram is high. That's it.
Oh,
You know the rules.
Do it again. Fuck that.
Fine, I'll
Reject
start
your
it.
reality.
I'll
You have
start
to leave and
again.
rejoin.
Aram. Burn.
villainous!
Ooh.
Except.
When?
He.
Snakes.
Why? Why every time?
Only you, Piff.
Snacks?
Like,
Bigger.
I'm sorry, Aram.
I know,
mean-
weirdly, I think that's pretty apt.
Yeah, I was gonna say no. The guilty is charged.
I'm sorry. I was really hoping that I could put ardently in there somewhere, but I
Ardently.
That is more ardently to be snaked than
Ardently
seriously to be expected.
Anchor
Oh,
Man, that's a
gosh.
very good question. I'm getting Guilty Gear Xrd when I feel like getting fucking thrashed, and I also missed it on sale recently, so I am quietly furious about that.
Damn it.
It's a good game, FYI. I play fight. Yeah, I play fight games sometimes. It's good.
I love Chrono Phantasma
Yeah.
Plus Blue.
Shout out to fighting games.
oh, fighting
Shout out to
game is
fighting
so fun.
Yeah.
I
Shout out
love
to
fighting
anime
games.
fighting games specifically.
Any tips for trying to make a TTRPG system by meshing John Wick's awful Eldritch High in anime campaign? Man, that is a very specific question.
I don't know what the former is.
Well, like, okay, here's the thing. I'm going to go out on a limb. I'm not gonna go out on a limb. Anime Campaign, I think, is the best TTRPG I've, like, D20 TTRPG bar none right now. Just, like, it, especially in the context that I played it, because Jello puts a lot of, like, love and care into every single character class, and making them mesh. If you're doing Anime Campaign, and, like, you're reading the minds of your players, and, like, figuring out what they want from a character, or what they want from their class, you're already gonna run a fantastic game, because you're making it custom to them. that's the biggest advantage of this game. It's freaking great and has a lot of like room for the creator to put a lot of love into.
I really liked the freedom it has, actually.
What's your opinion on bits? I have no idea what a bit is. What is this thing?
You just got 3,000 though.
Heck yeah!
Yeah.
I think it's
Thank you.
That's $30, by the way.
Yeah, that's money, isn't it?
Holy
shit!
Oh
Yeah,
my god,
funny.
thank you so much. Okay, so
So many chims!
oh my
You
god,
see-
so many schmeckles.
so proud
You
of
see,
you.
Jay, people who are affiliates usually have those things and have pop-ups. You could thank everyone as they donate or subscribe.
Yeah, Jay, where is the
Oh.
woohoo?
Oh yeah,
There's another bit.
I got
It's
a
an
story.
Artem.
I've got a story about bits that I want to implement on this channel. We were driving back from I don't know somewhere, and
Wait, really quick. I want to wrest this story away from you. I feel like we should be doing most of the talking because you're sick.
No, it's fine. But yeah, no, we were driving home from somewhere, and yeah, we were talking about like, I don't know, some dumb thing like gentrification, and my roommate opens his mouth and lets out this noise. To describe money coming into the area, and it was wow!
Okay, so my recollection is that it was part of. We were talking about your rent.
Yeah.
And like whether it was gonna go up because of like gentrification, and he was doing a bit like. I mean, like, we have a decent rate unless the landlord comes back next time the lease is up and it's like, whoa, time to raise the rent!
But that's the thing! You automatically filled in that voice, he dropped back to his normal tone, but that noise is so the sound of a Monopoly man that you have a context rolling forward. So, like, we were joking around that whenever the Twitch affiliate thing happened, we would have this very annoying sound bit and thing that would pop up in the lower left of, like, shitty Monopoly man with, like, probably $5 being like, wow! So you guys would have 100% the option to torpedo any cool moment you saw.
I mean, like, time to donate 1 cent. Whoa!
I can't
Oh, man,
believe
we-
that Marcus is dead this episode of Thrilling Intent. Wow!
Oh man, we've been hovering around 100 viewers.
Oh, hell yeah, guys! Thank
Oh,
you.
fantastic.
Yeah.
Wow.
Holy shit, guys! I really do
Wow.
appreciate it. Oh wow!
The best part is from what I heard, because you related that story, and I didn't have any other reason told to me why you wanted to become a Twitch affiliate. So the only reason I thought was just so you could make that sound. Like you didn't even want the money, you just wanted the sound.
Jello, you're not incorrect. I feel like I'm a very self-serving person. My motivations are just frequently real weird.
Oh jeez.
Oh my god. Stabbiness and Crew, here's a question for you. What weapon from any TTRPG/setting is your favorite and why? I know Jackson loves glaives, but what about the rest of you? Aaron, let's start with you.
Wait, Jackson loves glaives?
Yeah.
Just
This
maybe.
might shock you, but yeah, no. I don't know. He's pretty keen on him. It's a little surprising, but like, eh. I can understand how you didn't notice.
I have one.
Regardless, Aaron, do you have a favorite
I have
weapon?
one too.
Ooh, alright, then go into it.
Ooh.
Yeah, let's do it from the top. This is a really good one.
I like the scythe because it is cool, but also because it helps you. It's a really good metric for sorting out different types of TTRPG players. Because if you tell someone like, yeah, my character's going to use a scythe, you immediately know what camp of player they fall into based on whether they say, oh, dude, that's really cool, or whether they're like, great swords deal 2d6.
Oh.
Yeah, but it's not a scythe. Scythes are sick.
I
Come
gotta
on.
get my Magus cosplay
Scythes are
rolling.
so great.
What if it's a great scythe?
Ooh, that's just a solid scythe. That's a real good scythe.
That's a scythe with 2 blades. That's one blade on one end.
That's
So
just a
one blade on each end.
pendulum you stole from a trap.
Oh, I love that.
I just grabbed this off the lawnmower.
Will?
Will?
Let's see here. A weapon that I have gotten to use in a TTRPG.
Yes, or just like your favorite in general.
I really like it when a character just has big ass gauntlets.
Hell yeah.
I just love good old punching monsters. It lets you do some cool shit in the battlefield, or with a chain of some sort.
Fucking bone crusher gauntlets.
Yep, exactly. That's my shtick. As long as it's not generic sword. I find that very boring if it's like, ooh, I'll just use a katana. It's not that.
Oh no, I gotta change my answer.
Oh no!
I mean, like,
Well, I guess I'll just be generic then. Just
I love katana, honestly.
Go, Burn, go!
I honestly really like scythes specifically. Specifically in 3 Galaxies, my character is able to have a scythe that folds up exactly like the Bloodborne scythe.
Oh, hell yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Trick weapons are real good.
Yeah. So that is my favorite weapon out of everything because I custom made it.
Ooh.
Yeah.
I suppose it's my turn then?
Yes.
Believe it or not, I actually haven't had too many chances to do campaigns. So it's a little bit tougher to say what my favorite that I've done personally. In Space Campaign, I got to fight with a Roomba, and I think that was pretty great.
That's a good answer.
So that's probably my personal favorite. Even if that campaign, my character wasn't that great, I got to fight with a Roomba.
That was an unlock for your character.
It was so good.
I completely
so
forgot about that.
I want to give a shout out to Majin for that campaign for creating what I think the all-time greatest passive for any character ever was. Which my character was Humandine, who was a Starscream type character that wanted to take over the ship despite being designed as the worst one and just a human. And my passive was, "You think that's impressive?" Which anytime an ally rolled a 20, I got to immediately move and try to upstage them.
Oh, what an asshole.
Hey, Jello, I'm glad you like that passive. I stole it from Lamp's document.
Oh.
She does good work.
She does.
Floss.
Bare fucking hand.
Yeah.
That is shit.
I really thought you were going to say bear trap.
No. That's my Witcher 2 weapon
Bear
of choice.
traps are good.
But no, yeah. Bare hands is just my favorite. Whenever like someone is skilled and strong enough and fast enough to like fight weapon users with just their bare hands, that is always the tightest shit. I love that.
Word.
Yeah, Aizen from Tales of Berseria. I'm gonna move upstairs so that I have no echo. Be right back.
I should probably close my door. The family is asleep.
A cheat. My favorite. I like slicey weapons, so scythes are good. My favorite type of weapon in anything is anytime someone has blade string. So like Don Quixote Flamingo from One Piece.
Yeah, that's a good choice.
My favorite
Like
weapon I've ever
Waldo from
used.
Hellsing, that's choice.
Yeah. It seems like we're so used to it now because I've had it for like 2.5 years. But my base weapon on Rook is a violin that shifts into a crossbow.
10 out of 10.
That's a real good one, yeah.
Hell yeah.
I like swords, man. I'm boring. I'm loving all of the other weapons people are saying. Like, give me like a rapier or like a wooden sword or something.
Yeah.
And I'm just.
Do you want to tell people about Leish?
Oh yeah, no. I had a character who was a fox henge yokai, like wandering around essentially as like a ronin with a wooden sword, and yeah, that was fun.
Okay.
Your main gimmick was like he would have this like toothpick in his mouth, and he had he's playing like this crazy like Wu Gen class, which is a 3.5 thing.
Yeah,
and
they're like naturalists or elementalists.
Yeah.
It's really cool if
you could
anyone's
choose,
interested in that.
Yeah, you can basically choose your Avatar the Last Airbender element, and Matt chose wood, actually, coincidentally, much like Pip's character from Carrying Crown. But Matt chose wood, and he was playing as a hybrid with Sword Saint, one of the Book of Five Rings characters.
Yeah.
Sword something. Aaron, help me out here. Sword.
Is it not Sword Sage?
Sword Sage. There you go.
Sword Sage. That's it.
And his main gimmick was using warp wood to take any wooden object and perform an Iaijutsu strike using that in a split second. So like he'd do junk like spit out his toothpick, grab it and strike with it in the same motion. It was so cool. God.
Thanks, man. I love that character. I'm a sucker for that, like, jutsu bullshit.
Oh, who we got? Another.
That was just Foss. Yeah.
Okay.
That is super different from just a bog standard sword.
Yeah, I guess. But also, like, swords rock. Like, there's so many different swords.
Yeah.
They all have a different personality. Like, I think it's unfair to bag
Swords
on
is your favorite, my man?
Well, we just told the story about Leish.
Yeah.
Whoa.
The thing about swords, though, is
I'm
that
just ruffling your feathers. Swords is a good pick.
I know.
Who's Screechy?
Foss, do you have like a tea kettle in the background?
Like a small screaming mammal.
There's like a metal screech that's just very quiet and constant.
It sounds like something is gonna blow up.
It does.
It could be steam coming out of a tea kettle also.
How about now?
Or like a leaky radiator or something.
Still very constant.
Or mic interference, maybe.
I think it's mic interference because if you can't
Maybe
hear
there's
it,
just
then...
someone who's bad at whistling nearby.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
It's like,
They must
dude, I
have
can
a-
whistle. What are you talking about?
Oh god, what if you just whistled and made the annoying tea kettle whistle sound? That'd be awful.
Oh, I wish I could do that.
Why? Do you hate other humans?
Yes, we have covered this before. I do.
Die!
Okay, Majin, it's your go.
So this might be a little cheating because it was pretty recent, but if you guys keep up with Fantasy Campaign, my first character in Fantasy Campaign, Rocky Yellowstreak, found an item that gave him the ability to spit elemental damage every round, and it became
Spit Augment.
Spit Augment, I think, is based off an old UR thing. It was my favorite thing to just pick. I get to spit. What element do I get to spit? Do I spit an ice cube? Do I spit fireball? Do I spit assy saliva? It was so much fun.
Assy saliva.
I meant to say acid.
Yeah, but he did say acid. So the thing is, in Lamp's old UR campaigns, Spit Augment were fucking cursed, and anytime anyone used them, catastrophe struck. And you used it like it was a no big thing, so Civ and Will and I were freaking out.
Dude, it is no big thing. I just kept wanting to spit.
Didn't someone choke to death on their own spit and you
Like,
or something?
multiple
times.
I mean, I had a character that my first turn of the campaign, I was like, oh, I'll use my spit augment, and I immediately choked on it and almost died.
It's just further proof that weapon was made for me.
I guess. You sick bastard.
Okay, Pep, it's your go.
Thank goodness I was at the end because it took me a while to get to where I was. So, I suppose my favorite weapon would be Yo-Yo.
Oh, hell yeah.
Ooh, that's good.
A good choice.
Interesting.
I don't think I've ever actually gotten a character to wield a Yo-Yo as a weapon yet, though.
Might be something Goot can get.
I don't know about that, Will.
Look at the look,
He would have to wrap it around his hat and swivel his head.
Good punch! Good had a few good punches in our last game.
Yeah.
Food is amazing.
Raise his crossbow. Alright, nobody move. Oh shit!
Food. I just love food.
Goot's the best.
Everyone loves Goot.
Okay, and Civ, I believe you are next.
I'm a big fan of axes, but I pretty much like anything that is humongous and can just like crush things. But I don't think I've ever seen anybody use one. But it's similar to Morningstar, but I like meteor hammers. So
Oh yeah.
yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah, for people who don't know what meteor hammers are, they're essentially a flail, but the inside of it is hollow, and you fill it with oil, and then you light it on fire and just bludgeon someone with a flaming chunk of metal.
What is this called again? A meteor?
Meteor hammer.
Oh,
I'm
geez,
looking
I'm
at
gonna
pictures. They
Google
look
this.
awesome.
Okay, Jay.
Yeah.
Jay, this is essentially El Dorado.
Oh, sweet. Okay, cool. So it's like a burning flail.
Oh my god, this is
yeah, it's
amazing.
Actually,
Yeah.
Civ, Brugo used it in Fantasy Campaign 1.
Ooh.
Oh shit, you're right, yeah, nice.
Yeah.
In terms of actual favorite weapons that a character I've played has used, I think I'm gonna have to say a dead person's severed arm.
Trixie! Trixie!
Yep.
Should I change my answer to something I actually used?
Yeah, sure.
You don't need to.
You don't
if
need to,
want
but
I didn't need to. I just included that
I don't
because that
think
was real fun.
And I don't think the question was for like something you actually used. I think it was just for your like favorite weapon in a tabletop.
Roomba!
I'm honestly surprised you didn't say just a rocket staff, Piff. Because it's
a
just
good-
a magical staff with
That has
fucking
rocket
rockets
straps at the top, and you
Yeah.
fire it like a rocket launcher. I know.
Yeah.
Okay. I've got, since I was at the very end, I've got, like, a runner-up. My runner-up is any item, this matches with Civs, actually, any item that can be loaded with gunpowder so that, like, when you hit the enemy, something crazy happens. Bloodborne has this thing called the Boom Hammer, where, like, you just reel back and slam it into someone and it blows up. And it's also got this, like, this punch item called the Stake Driver, where, like, I beat the entire game with the Stake Driver. Just like it's basically like a punch dagger, if you know what that is. But the blade slides back, and there's a little compartment of gunpowder behind it. And in
If
the
you've
game,
watched Big O, it's
yeah,
that.
oh yeah,
the fucking POW bunker is amazing.
exactly. Except with gunpowder. So like you do fiery punch, it's the best. That's why Kyr's sword is has fire properties and blows up a lot. But my all-time favorite weapon is like Aram, I really like mages. And I really like, even more than mages, just weirdo characters. So you need a weapon to go with that. My favorite weapon, bar none, and it's one that I use like frequently, but don't really like use, is a briefcase. I freaking love characters that carry around like their big bag of tricks and then pull random junk from it. Like, especially if they're a mage. Like, Rat is entirely built on this principle.
I love it.
Yeah.
The mention of
like-
briefcase is such a mundane item reminded me of my favorite mundane weapon, Umbrella.
Yeah! Oh, Umbrella's awesome.
What about Hidden Blade Umbrella? Those are fun.
I like regular Umbrella better because it's way cooler to see someone getting hooked and tripped and beaten up with an umbrella.
Fair.
So speaking of, Jay, I should clarify that Scythe is my answer if we're talking about physical weapons.
Gotcha.
But if we're talking about means of harm, then yes. I would always opt for a little good old razzle dazzle via arcane magic rather than some kind of brutish weapon of metal.
Exactly. No, I just like, mage or not, I always love a character that fights with a briefcase or backpack.
Yeah.
Like, that is my favorite thing in the universe.
Miyako Eozaki.
Yeah? Wait. Holy shit, really?
Yeah, just give 'em the old razzle dazzle.
Also, who said that? Was that Faust? Like, through a girl
Yes?
last mic? Yeah, that's what I thought. Yeah, no, Ayako's weapon is fucking sick. Like, there's this character in a fighting game that at the start of everything, like, she wanders into the fight, puts down her briefcase, stretches, and then kicks your ass.
And then
walks,
shoots fucking beams.
Yeah, and then walks over and picks up her briefcase at the end and just fucking leaves you for dead. It's great! It's my favorite junk.
It's beautiful.
I want to draw this back to Gross X's question earlier. What about Tax Day Part 3?
Ooh. Well, I mean,
It was
really, if
lame.
everything has gone according to plan, there will never be another tax day again.
I feel like the stakes need to be adequately raised before we
Yeah.
do another tax
Yeah, no,
day.
like it has to get exponentially more terrifying each time.
Oh, of course, yeah, and the world state has got to be even more dire before you unlock the next tax day.
I think you should do something involving tax returns. So like all the years of failed, like they never gave back anything from to the Alarani people. I feel like that's a darkness that's been brewing.
Yeah.
Tax Day 3, the tax returns.
Yeah, that's a good title.
That's real good. Yeah, no, I think in the last one you guys hit up the tax dimension and theoretically had like some real existential shit just dumped in your lap and agreed to never think about it.
Yeah, we super
again.
did. It was very distressing.
Yeah, and then you agreed to never think about it again.
Yes. Yeah, no, that's the way to keep your sanity.
So, long answer short, it'll happen eventually when the world state is fucked. Next question from Artem34. They want to know, Stabby, how you make such beautiful maps.
Oh shit. God. Map Tool. I highly recommend Map Tool. Roll20 is really good. It'll teach you, like, Roll20 will teach you how to, like, sort of mesh things together, but Map Tool has one additional layer, and that is the difference, honestly. Like,
It really is.
It just lets you do lighting effects that are very nice and, like, really fuck with, I don't know, nice stuff. But, I don't want to also dump on Roll20 because I've seen people do a lot of gorgeous maps with Roll20, especially with the vision blocking layer, which I think is better than Map Tool. So, I guess just patience, persistence is the boring answer, but I highly recommend Map Tool if you want to get like something complex.
My quick Mac tip is always clutter might be too strong a word. Throw in extra shit, like past just a corridor, like throw in an extra brick or a mouse hole because
like rubble.
Like whatever your players can interact with adds to the fun a lot more than you'd expect.
Yeah. It's also like, God, my only warning is with Map Tool, don't go too nuts. You probably don't know this because of how much I had to fucking edit this, but every time 2 players, I'm not gonna say who, went to the Lily Clan Gardens without fail, their Map Tool would crash because of how complicated I made that shit.
It looked good.
Yeah, thank you.
I really did.
Let's see. I saw.
Sorry, your map tool has been bowel ripped.
I saw a good one. What'll always make you happy regardless of the bad mood you're in. I'm gonna be honest. It's probably streaming like this in a setting surrounded by my friends with like good company. Like I am sick as shit. I am in a miserable mood. Like grand scale. But right now I'm extremely happy. When the stream ends, I'm going to deflate and die. But right now I'm ecstatic. I'm not going to bed.
I'm actually like, oh man, I'm gonna cry.
Will you ever do anything with Galactic Cosmic? I want to. I'm super embarrassed about my art, honestly. Like, I feel very bad.
Your art was what are you talking about? Your
I
art was
really
great.
like the Sand King.
Yeah, I like drawing mechs, not people.
Hey, I thought it worked.
Thank you. I really do appreciate that, but like, it's one of those things that I want to come back to. I've got big ambitions for it, but I need the actual technical skill to deliver on it, which I don't have. And like,
I'd love to return to it sometime because I really enjoyed playing Serpeggiari, and I really wanna, I really wanna build on, or go into rather, the backstory that we established.
Right. My stepsister is actually running, like DMing a game, a Galactic Cosmic game, and yeah.
Oh, that's awesome.
She's a huge fan, and it's always really cool.
Adorable. Oh
Yeah.
man, that warms my heart.
Amazing.
We have a lot of stuff to talk about now.
Oh, that's so excellent. I'm embarrassed because it's like a game I worked on and
Oh yeah, she loves it.
Oh, sweet. Oh, that's so awesome. Okay, how long does it take to prepare a session of TI? I guess it really depends on like where they're going and how much they have to do. Honorant was the biggest crunch I've ever done, and it was bad, like weeks of work. And then very little time after that because it was mostly like wandering around areas I already made. Right now, I'd say probably like a day or two. Like a whole day of just working for about like 2 hours of content. Yeah, seems about right. What's everybody's favorite character tropes?
I don't really know.
Gay.
Gay, but that's not a
Gay.
I miss
Classic
my
boss.
kids.
You can say this
like
character's
head.
got a gay cup personality.
Oh jeez.
Stop.
I like Genki characters a lot.
Oh hell yeah.
Aw,
They're fun.
that's good.
I'm a real big fan of Bodyguard Crush, and I want my beloved to be happy. So super selfless
Yeah.
characters.
Yeah.
Bonus points if it's
that.
both of them.
Looks in
Oh.
Titania.
I really like characters who have mannerisms typically associated with villains, like grandiosity and like calling people fools and stuff. That aren't villains. They're just like misplaced and.
That is such
Looks
an
at
Aram
Will.
thing to say.
Yeah.
What is that?
you
all
can,
I
you
play?
can imagine why.
Aram's giant
yeah.
boy crush on Eugene Verger.
Yeah, you can imagine why I enjoy Eugene Verger. So.
Yeah, Eugene Verger is really pandering, isn't he?
Ah, shit! I knocked the camera over.
Oh my god, I fucking love that art. Holy shit.
I spilled ketchup on my pants.
Ah. My favorite kind of characters to play are that kind of shtick. Pretty much anything that's like Ramsey Murdoch and Victor Oswald Gallowsworth, which
So
is
a
just
Nico
Gunsman.
Crush character.
yeah, anything that Nico would like. Just a piece
Just gonna say.
just an absolute piece of shit who can actually have a heart of gold and be a pretty swell person, but on average is just a bastard.
I'm a big fan of those characters too. I like them a lot more when they do roll really fucking poorly. That's just the icing on the cake.
Who is next for character type?
Oh.
Burns up next.
Barker.
Tropes.
Yeah.
Tropes are character types, if that's easier.
Yeah.
Character types that I specifically like to play. Would that work?
Yeah.
Just like, period.
Yeah.
So
Well, I tend to gravitate towards the paladin, I fight for justice, but, kinda is lax with the rules, so I'm cool with being a little bad, but not too bad, more like lawful neutral, but also I'm
like
just
he'll
really
chide you
fucking
for
strong.
stealing, but he'll smoke pot with you.
Oh god.
Yeah. Basically.
Acceptable.
That's a good
I met
paladin.
that guy before.
Oh gosh.
Who else needs to share?
I already went, so I think we're skipping over me.
Matt, I think.
Matt.
Oh yeah.
What character traits do you like?
Oh god, let's see. I like playing happy-go-lucky characters or like really nervous and anxious characters.
Oh.
Reginald for Nick.
I also like. I think the name it has on TV tropes is Crouching Moron, Hidden Badass. Someone
I love that!
Master Yoshi
Yes.
from Dragon Ball. Or no, there are a couple other good like examples that I don't want to bring up because of possible spoilers, but just like kinda idiots who turn out to be like, the secret strongest.
I love. I brought this up because we're watching Kobayashi Dragon Maid, which is amazing. Shut up, Chula. And
gross.
You're far the minority in this group right now. So I really love it anytime a character is like bullshit continent destroying powerful and just like spends their time cooking and shit and
Yeah.
does nothing.
Totally.
I love like inexplicably overpowered characters in mundane situations.
That's pretty.
That is real good, yeah.
Whistle.
Yeah. Oh, no worries. I'm just gardening.
Oh,
I tend to be a fan of Badass Biker Babe. I don't know if that's the name of the trope, but like pretty much any really just kick-ass lady with like a motorcycle and a catsuit. That is just good stuff.
Be honest, Civ, did you marry Will just for Dylanette?
What a weird reason.
You just married me to my
No,
body.
you're wrong.
Shut up. No, shut up.
On the other hand, I tend to really like big, huge, strong, silent type characters who speak like once or twice.
Ravi.
Yeah, Ravi.
I love Ravi. I can't wait to stream that shit. That's gonna be amazing.
I miss my boy. He'll be back someday.
Oh.
Is it on me? It's on me. Crap.
Yep.
Okay. Oh yeah, Piff.
Oh, Piff.
Hi. I think my favorite in general, I was going back and forth between like basically just Armstrong from Full.
Oh hell yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
And the one I settled on was just over the top villainy. Like the ones where just like, you will perish before my like just like over the top.
Destroy my lair.
I got blamed for that shit.
Like that's sort of just like, this is unreal villainy where like it sort of doesn't even make sense. I think the best like person that I can point to out of the entire like villain cast of all villains, Eggman. Where he's like constantly doing evil stuff, but he's doing it because like it feels like it's the right thing to do for him, and not really because he wants to like take over anything, or like he just wants to hang with Sonic, and villainy is the only way he knows how.
I think that trope
That's
is called
so bizarre.
card-carrying villain. Maybe that's something else.
And of course just like about to like burst into like evil doer song at any second and talking about like money. Everything about just ridiculous flamboyant villainy is fantastic.
Oh yeah.
Jay drew my attention to it, but someone asked in chat, we're going to get something akin to Tomb of Horrors this Halloween. I certainly intend that to happen, yes.
Oh, speaking of which, I will be there. I'm going to delay my trip up by a couple of days, so I will be recording.
Oh, okay.
Ooh. Oh, what a
But
nice. Thank you, man.
I should be in Seattle around the 2nd.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Second Tuesday.
I guess you could say your presence has stabilized.
Oh man, I already have a character in mind if I do Tomb of Horrors this time.
I have a new chat bot character that I'm really
Oh,
for.
I'm real fucking excited for it.
My goal is to make everybody hate the focal theme as much as I do.
But yeah,
I
what you call it? My favorite character tropes is I really like nice characters that are genuine and do their best. Since it's recent, I really like Deku, good kid. Just good.
Yeah.
Good kid.
He's a real good kid.
I love him.
From My Hero?
Yeah, no, he's
Yeah.
excellent.
Yeah.
He's
Congrats
made me
from
cry
Boys
on
My
the
Hero
pod.
Academia.
Yeah.
I have cried. I have cried for Deku.
Oh yeah, no, episode 2, I wept like a baby. But yeah, no,
Me too.
freaking, big fan of, God, I, like, whenever, this is such a trope, but like, the frickin' emotional breakdown based on positive feelings is always my favorite shit. Shout out to One Piece, always, forever.
Yeah.
Ugly crying.
Well, ugly crying, but it's always like based on something good and not tragic.
Yeah.
Is like,
I love.
oh, it's so good.
Oh, I love that. That is the best
It is the
feeling.
best shit in the universe. Not enough stuff does it. It's always like sad shit happens, now cry. It's One Piece is like, oh god, the Nico Robin moment where they're going to save her. Beautiful. God.
Beautiful.
It's freaking beautiful. Beyond that, I like what's already
Best in the city.
what? But beyond that, I really like, as was stated before, like bullshit strong character hanging out with like a group of people. I'm a huge fan. What? Yeah, I like characters that can like arbitrarily raise their level whenever shit gets like real and bad. I like to think I like to play these characters that are just like sort of messing around and like here to help the group and here to be your friend, but are secretly super freaking powerful. That's
Being your pal when the chips are down.
So down.
Oh jeez.
Yeah, no, cough Thunderbolt Fantasy, cough. Yeah.
Thunderbolt Fantasy is so good.
Thunderbolt
It's
Fantasy.
Watch
incredible,
Thunderbolt
yeah.
Fantasy if you get the chance. It's
Do it.
amazing.
Just do it.
Thunderbolt
It's worth it.
Fantasy is like one of the 2 shows I gave it 10. It's
I know.
Never even
Before we
heard
get
of
wrapped
it.
up in that, though, I saw 2 questions that I want to address really quick. There was a question earlier that was, how do I think it was, how do I convince my players to play Upwind, or how do I move from Upwind from D&D? Just do. It is definitively better than every D20 system. Period.
Have good
Dice
friends.
fucking suck!
Yes,
Have
they
good
should.
friends.
Dice suck. If
Well,
your players are like, well, I don't know, I like rolling dice, you can just say, well, that's great, but I sure bet you like having some modicum of control over your fate in a die game, because in
I
Upwind,
like
you
feel
get
bad.
what?
What if I like to feel bad and have no
Then keep playing
control
your
over what
D20 game
happens?
and
Oh,
try to
cool.
be a master swordsman who has trained the entire life with your sword, swing, and miss, because that feels good.
Rip Yan. But
Yeah.
no.
But no, Upwind is a great game. It's like primary driving, I think, theme is that the players have as much narrative control as the GM. The GM is basically just there to keep the story on track and to keep things moving forward. And it's all about collaborative storytelling, since everyone is sort of at the table with the same amount of power. And if everyone is willing to work together, you can tell a really, really beautiful, amazing story. Take No Smarts But Hearts, for example. I have the opportunity to work with some very skilled and wonderful people. And I think that we are able to tell a very good story through that. And so yeah, just do it. Just switch to Upwind. It's that easy.
If you like D20, play anime campaign. Like it's
Yeah, there you go.
True.
And
like,
then ignore the dice 60% of the time like I do.
well, like me and Aram are so bad at rolling, we've found ways to sort of like mutually lean on one another and cheat.
I mean, dice are good and bad, I think.
Yeah.
Because of dice, you get some hilarious moments, like
Yes.
with Fantasy Campaign. Because Leon Lionheart rolled bad so consistently, it was perfect and it made it funnier.
Yeah.
Will said, not remembering those ones he rolled on Victor.
That's
Oh,
different
no.
because I was getting real sick of that shit because Victor's actually good at his job.
Yeah,
See?
no.
Right?
Like
I'll be
dice
honest.
dice are an element of true randomness, so like they will make legends, they will also make sad sacks.
Right. Like, and that's why I like Upwind, because the impetus to like succeed or fail is like it's all in the story. It's I guess that's kind of it adds a layer of difficulty playing Upwind, because sometimes failure is great and you want to fail and it's the best thing for the story at that point in time. So it's up to both the players and the GM to sort of guide themselves into that. Like,
You can
as the
fail
GM,
on
you can just
purpose
be like,
if you want.
yeah, this is real fucking hard. This is going to be a 3-card challenge and I get a cash. Good luck succeeding. Or if it's the player, they can play bad cards.
The other difference with, like, I do agree dice do give you that, they give you Dan Gansley's, but I think dice are good for one-shots, because it's fun to have a one-shot character that sucks, but if you just have a night where dice just ruin your day, I don't think that's fair at all.
Yeah, no,
it's
that
really
is
bad.
I can get behind that, yeah. I think sometimes the humor that comes out of a crit fail is just so funny to me that I can let it pass.
Yeah, I love
I mean-
crit fails.
Although the trepidation and sadness of getting one of your characters or NPCs critted on, like we recently had in 3 Galaxy, and then trying to figure out, oh fuck, can we actually save them, is interesting story-wise, but terrible as a player. Feels bad.
Yeah. But I mean, there's nothing more satisfying than, like, for example, in Ebonward, we had Maze Myers lie about not knowing a party member was a half-bear, and they rolled a 0. A fucking 0. So it was because they rolled a 2, but had a -2 on their bluff. So they got a good old zip.
Oh yeah, I think dice are really good in certain situations, but when the dice invalidate your identity as a player and character, that's real bad.
Yeah.
That's when I say
All I'm
cheat,
saying,
honestly.
all I'm
Yeah,
saying
exactly.
is, I don't know how many of you guys. I know Matt's played Upwind. I think you should all play Upwind before we continue this debate.
Yeah,
I would
really,
just
really
flat out
good.
say Upwind is the
I
best
would
system right now. So
Yeah, I can't. I
There's
can't
also a general rule that at least the SILP guys, my group, do, and that's called failing forward. Like, you may fail something, but it's not necessarily a, oh shit, you just fuck up and then there's nothing. It might progress the story in a different way
Yeah.
instead of just outright failing.
Like, at the end of the day, all of these things are just methods of information acquisition. It's ultimately up to the GM how to interpret it. What, like, mechanically speaking, the reason that Upwind seems good is because it is controlled in real time by the GM intuitively by the system, so the GM decides what they play. So they can ratchet the challenge up or down. It's very self-explanatory. What people don't realize generally is you also should do that for D20 stuff too. Like,
yeah, that's the big problem, is that that's not something that is often told or taught with D20 systems. Usually it's
What
the
is
dice
like
are
kind of like changing the ceilings on the fly depending on the situation?
Yeah, like example, in the 5th episode of Anime Campaign, Majin's character had this ongoing gimmick where he wanted to marry a ghost, which was great. And by the end of, by the 75% mark, the entire party was super invested in this ghost marriage. And I kept having him propose over and over as he, got this relationship going and kept interacting. And I kept lowering the ceiling, and the last time with the best, well-delivered RP proposal, he rolled a 7. I was like, that's just not satisfying at all. You got a 30 or whatever. There's just times when it's because you can roll that die and it's I might get a 20, which is great, but also I would never I would never want to play with a GM who'd be like, no, you fail again.
Yeah.
I mean, that
I
goes with any system.
I really shipped it.
Here's the thing, it's you're the GM in any system, hey, the DC on that could just be -20 for that one instance to cover up that one. You could do that, you're the GM, who the fuck
Oh,
cares?
totally, but I think the issue is that's not really taught. With things like Critical Role and the Adventure Zone gaining popularity, people are emulating how they play D&D.
No, it's also when it's Upwind, it feels less blatantly cheating. Because, when
you feel like you're still working within the confines of the game, and that feels good.
It does feel the same. It feels different. I don't know. I think both systems have their merits. It's ultimately
I understand what Faust is trying to say, which is just that Upwind it's easier seemingly, quote unquote, for the GM to fudge things, where I think dice seem more. They're more of a sacred cow in tabletoppery. It's harder for some reason to overturn a roll on a die than it is to just be no, that works in the newer Upwind system with a card.
Yeah.
And I agree that with her sentiment that it should be taught that you're allowed to cheat anytime as the GM to make the experience better.
Yeah, that's something that is not taught enough.
Everyone has to remember, a dice is like a skipping stone. You can whip that shit to the wall anytime you want. It has no control over you. At the same time, Upwind seems amazing. I would love to experience what you guys are talking about, because it does seem like a really cool system.
TLDR, what Majin just said was fuck D&D!
It's just D&D is just a place for everyone to come together and have fun. And that's the same for any tabletop. As long as you're having fun, that's the goal.
Exactly.
You got it.
Guys.
Yeah. What's up?
Sorry, the Sad Persona song was playing.
No shit! Oh, that explains why the chat's going, Mark.
Will. Mark.
Yeah.
Oh
no,
my God.
ultimately, I agree with the sentiment, but not necessarily the vitriol. If you're having fun with the game, fucking play it. That's what matters. If your group thinks that they could have more fun, feel free to experiment. There's so many good games out there. They're all worth giving a shot. But ultimately, the main thing is, like, at the end of the day, is your table having fun? Like, don't
Yep.
fucking listen to a bunch of chuckleheads on the internet if you're having a good time. If you think you could have a better time, yeah, take some advice. But, like, if you're doing good, that's what really counts. Even if your campaign feels jank as fuck, that doesn't matter. Like,
As long as you don't have grapple rules in your tabletop, you're fine.
yeah, no, that's where I draw the line.
Sweats.
Yeah, so I saw a very interesting question a long time ago. If you had a chance to roleplay a character from, like, another piece of fiction, what would it be and why? Like,
If you had a chance to change your fate, would you?
yeah, no, hard question, but I really
Nothing
like it.
actually
Yeah, very
comes
hard
to
question.
mind. Like, I don't really have like this big desire to play any sort of fictional character. If we're talking about in a feature film or maybe an animated movie, in something that I'd get paid for, yeah, sign me up.
Yeah, does this mean like another tabletop character that we've seen, or is this just like?
I thought it meant just like
it
from fiction in general, whether that's like a book or a movie or that's what I thought.
If we're talking fiction in general,
Jolene
something with a
Cujo.
lot of
Oh,
royalty.
hell yeah!
and-
Just think about it like what character makes you hype and you'd like to play as. Like, Civ's answer of
Okay.
Jolene Cujo is like, yeah, that's what we're looking for.
Nice.
Yes.
Yeah, like, that shit. Like, would you want to play REO Speedwagon? Is that like think of a character. Pick one that you're like, fuck
I
yeah, that's
see.
a cool character. I'd want to play that character.
So
Hmm.
here is my answer. In the third hypothetical WWE Scooby-Doo crossover, starring
Wow.
Brennan
Get out of here,
Williams,
Jello.
starring Brennan Williams, I
Yes.
would like to play the wrestler who only exists in the movie and is the bad guy.
Wow. Like, Pip's answer of Eggman earlier is a good one.
Yeah,
too.
no, that's a good one.
That is a good one, Piff. Yeah,
Thanks.
he's an over-the-top villain. You got it.
Yeah.
Glad I thought of
Everything
it
you want.
just now.
I'd have to go with Hisoka.
It's not like a
Hunter
Oh, hell yeah!
Because
Oh,
Bungee
God.
Gum does have the properties of both rubber and gum.
Oh yeah!
Did you
Fucking
know
know
that
it
gum
does.
has
Fucking
the
amazing.
properties of rubber and gum?
Did you know it has
Yeah,
the
it has the
properties of both rubber and gum, though?
Did you say
I'm
bungee gum?
unfamiliar. Majin, I'm unfamiliar with this character. Do they scream a lot?
No, they actually
No.
don't.
What?
He's terrible.
Hisoka
Look, if I
is
want
a
to play
walking
character that screams a
ASMR
lot, I'm not going to
sex
pick something from fiction.
No! That's why!
It's true though. What do you want? Do you want me to?
Oh,
Wait, Faust, what did you say?
I said
She's
Hisoka's
so
a walking
right.
ASMR sex clown.
Oh my god, why?
Basically.
Yeah, you're not
Well,
wrong.
Well, now,
I
boss,
would-
I just want to play him more.
He's really
I
good.
would
Oh,
want to
that
play-
guy. Okay.
Yeah, that guy.
Oh,
Personally, I would love to play as Mr. President.
From,
I would.
Metal
This
Volcano.
president.
oh yeah, oh yeah. You want to know why? Because I'm the president.
Because I'm the President of the United States.
And,
Let's
and
party!
if you assume that there was like a TTRPG version, and maybe there is, because I know like they made an RPG system for Slayers, so I'm sure they've done it for other anime. If there was an RPG system for Fairy Tail, I would want to play the narrator so that I could be on the giving end of that joke instead of the receiving end.
Oh my god, that made
would
me
be,
so
it'd
mad.
be like all the players and the GM are there just doing the adventure, and I just randomly talk over people like, "This is the radio room."
I'm so mad I missed the angriest Aram's ever been.
Oh my god, it was magical.
Like,
No,
they're like, "Okay, why don't you introduce your characters?" And first person starts talking, and I just talk over them like, "Here's the deal with this character." Da 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 da.
yeah, no, because so Aram and I were watching Fairy Tail because I was like, hey, you know what? I remember the show being actually okay. Did you want to try it? And he stupidly said yes. So we watched the first couple episodes, and I honestly didn't realize how annoying the narrator was until Aaron pointed it out. That motherfucker explains everything that doesn't need to be explained. Like, at one point, the part where Aram got the most mad was they're like, okay, we need to get some wheels and go fast. They all get in a fucking car and start driving. And the first thing the narrator says is, this is the Magic Mobile. And like explains what it does and how it works. It's like, you don't have to.
Yeah,
we know
I
what
was
this is.
I was apoplectic. I was like, it's a fucking car! I can see it's a car! You don't have to explain, oh, it runs on magic. It's a car! I wasn't gonna question it, you fucking idiot!
And then later on, they're like, meanwhile, in the radio room, and it's zoomed in on a sign that says
okay,
radio.
Yeah, they did an establishing shot. You know, one of the most basic techniques of cinema. That shows a door with the word radio on it. And it's like, okay, and then narrator, in the radio room.
Was it like some sort of weird fourth wall thing where it's like,
No, it was
no, it was nothing.
It was fairy tale, so it was just bad.
Okay, but was the sign in English in a way that would make narration necessary?
It was in English.
I'm gonna argue that if the sign was in English in the animation, and so in Japanese they had a narrator saying it was the radio room, they should have cut that out in the English dub.
But then it's not staying true to the story.
Usually they
Come
just
on,
add
don't censor my anime, Aram.
So
usually they just add subtitles to stuff like that.
So I just remembered that this is still in my pipe dream list of things I want to do. For characters I'd like to play, I would still love to do a couple dubs of scenes from the daily lives of high school boys with me, Majin, and Aram.
I sent you a scene already.
I still haven't. I'm fucking busy. I also can't really upload that anywhere.
I'll upload it. Fuck it.
Rip.
I'd probably play Francis York Morgan.
Oh, that's a good one.
Oh my god, that's
I
great.
love that man.
Oh yeah, I love that man too.
Stole my heart.
I have a few.
You guys have bad taste.
If I was if I was given like a weird chance to play these characters, I don't know, in a TTRPG setting probably because I ain't no voice actor. I'd really like to play Frankie from One Piece. I think he would be the most fun.
You'd be a great fit for Frankie.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yep.
I'd like to play Frankie from One Piece. Thinking of like video games.
Ooh, I'm sorry, I just thought of something else. I would want to play Scratchy Scratch Itchy Two Handsy, and you guys could be my bad touch gang.
Oh no.
Oh no.
Bad touch gang.
Who will stop them? I won't.
Any other like characters from games I can't really think of. I'm kind of blanking. Like there are a lot of characters. Like if you had a chance to like RP as any character from like a game or like a show.
Oh shit.
It's not
No, go ahead. I've talked a bunch.
It's not from a game, and I feel like it's cheating because I haven't read the thing he's from, but I think that Don Quixote would be a really interesting tabletop character.
Oh shit, yeah, no, from that vein, fucking hell, yeah. We were fucking around, coming up with dumb characters to play for a TTRPG. Fate Goes Merlin's really nice, he's a big fluffy boy.
He's a fluffy boy with like axolotl ears.
Yeah, like he falls into that category of your bullshit best friend who's way too strong and mostly there to fuck around. God. Yeah, no, he'd be fun. I'm changing my answer to Merlin. He's
nice.
Good.
This is gonna get almost no reaction except from Jay. I would also love to play Sephirin
Hell
in
yeah!
Fire Emblem Radiant Dawn.
No, that'd be really good.
It's
He's like
enough to know how that works.
I think I heard Piff say something.
No, not right now.
No?
Maybe a little bit later.
Oh boy.
Alright. As for me, like it's tough because I usually like practically all of my TTRPG characters are some mesh of this character and this character and this character. Like I already take inspiration from other things. Like for instance, again Isaac from my Three Galaxies campaign. I took how he looks from Kaikisuke in Guilty Gear.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. And he has different mannerisms and all that from different characters. Yeah.
I would play Nephiles the Dark.
I was so waiting for you to eventually say anything involving Shadow the Hedgehog. And you one-upped my expectations.
You done a good.
So I can be a sun god and have killed Sonic, making me better than him and
You done a good. If it has to be a video game character, I think I'd want to play. I want to play like Edna from Tales of Zestiria.
Oh, hell yeah! Nice.
She's really cute and it just kind of like my aesthetic. I would take that.
Is that Aizen's sister?
No. Yeah, that's Aizen's sister. Faust is your answer, Aizen.
I mean, maybe? I don't know.
Aizen's real you.
I didn't actually get to finish the game because I don't have a PS4 anymore.
Oh, Aizen's not in that one, so yeah, he's from a different one. You didn't like miss him or anything.
Yeah.
Okay, that's fair.
He's from Berseria. Berseria's an A++ game. It's so
Berseria is the best Tales game, hands down.
I have not even slightly looked at that one. I'll look into it.
What about the Tales game where if you use an item on a certain boss, he would just go into a cutscene attack that just murdered you, yelling no items ever?
What?
That is actually in one of the Tales games.
Oh, that's
actually in a few of them.
Oh yeah, that character is like, he's from a specific game, but he keeps coming back as a random bonus boss in other games or spin-off games.
I love it.
Yeah. He's my favorite boss of all time, because he has two gimmicks to him. He's actually the last boss in the game, but if you ever use items, he just freaking like cutscenes your entire like party to death.
That's good.
Or you can actually kind of like auto grind in a field, and the game will start noticing that, and after a while, he will just show up as one of the random encounters and murder your party.
Wait, was he in Symphonia?
He was in, he was not in Symphonia. He was in Vesperia as, like, a secret boss. And there's also another one where if you play on easy, he just kills your party. There's no even fight or damage.
I love Toho.
I love that boss so much just because he is just fourth wall breaking gimmick boss.
Oh, that's wonderful.
My favorite.
Okay, I missed a lot of questions. If you have them,
Oops.
please throw them at us again.
I haven't seen any in a while.
Yeah.
Here's one that I will answer for myself, and then like two other, maybe 1.5 people will know what else it is about. Who's our favorite Fate series hero? Right now, mine's Bedivere.
Oh yeah, it's good. It's a good boy.
Bedivere's a good boy.
It's a real good boy.
I've never played Fate.
Exactly.
Hey, I like that. Hey, Jay and crew, what fan art would you want right now?
Upwind fan art. If you have Upwind fan art, send it to the Third Wheel in email because I'm running dry.
I would also like to see Upwind fan art.
Oh, that's super nice. Yeah, I think I'll just second that. That sounds very nice. If you like it. It might be fun, but like we've been doing a lot of dumb like head-to-head weird crossover chunks. If you have fan art of like characters who wouldn't normally meet going head-to-head, that would be cool too. I don't know. That'd be fun.
Oh, here's another question. Will, why do you do Sweaty Goblin?
God damn it, Foss!
Yes.
I do Sweaty Goblin.
No, you stop. You stop. You have to answer in the voice.
Civ, when did you join the dark side?
You're saying the reason I
always been
do
here.
Sweaty Goblin voice is because it's really easy to do, yet it is horribly annoying and bad.
That is still legit my favorite voice you ever do for a character.
I love it.
Dude,
I love it so much.
A lot of people would hear this voice and go, that must be rough on your throat, Will. Nope. Has no impact on it, so I could do it for hours. What you don't know is this is actually his normal voice. That's right.
He's
But
been
this is the
faking
next
the
terrible thing that will come out of my mouth. My words, a sock full of peas.
Sweaty Goblin's also a fun voice because it's one of those voices where even if the joke's not funny, it's still funny because the voice is so
You
dreadful.
can say any words in any order.
Good counterpoint.
It's not horrifying. It's so horrifying.
Good counterpoint question. The paragon to Sweaty Goblin questions Renegade. Civ, how do you do frog voice?
Yeah.
Frog voice.
It's actually very easy. It is just up in the back of my throat and I do a very strange Russian Slavic accent. I just kind of make sounds. It's all up and talking in the back. And I like it because it's small and pleasant and you can use it for silly, scribbly little creatures. I love it!
I love frog voice.
Still, one of my favorite moments of Rude Venture is when an NPC is like, "Yeah, go to the mayor of our town for the reward."
Yeah!
He's a frog. Yes!
Who was that got excited?
I don't know.
I think you and me, and I
It was
think
gorgeous.
no, I think basically everyone was super pumped by it.
Yeah, I think it was the whole party actually that was just like, yes!
I also really liked that when we were in the bar the first time. Shenzu was looking for food. He was like, "What kind of bar food do you have?" "This bar has the best bar pizza." And everyone's like, "Oh, what is that?"
Yeah, that was the first time I had ever heard the frog voice. It
Yep.
was the first time it had graced my life.
Yeah, I didn't get to say this, but because like your mic and internet and tech stuff prevents you from doing this as readily as some of the rest of us, but hearing you do Boku no Hero shit while we're reading through the manga, Civ, you are a fantastic voice actress, and I really wish I had you on call.
Oh.
I know. That's why I'm trying to get her to move here because I'm probably going to get a really nice mic and setup soon, and then she could probably assist with voiceover stuff.
And like it would be easy to immigrate because you just walk up to the border and do the frog voice, and no one's gonna turn you away. No one...
They can't do it.
Dude, relax. It's just a frog. Let it go across.
Oh, as a heads up, if I crash again, I'm probably done for the night.
Okay.
Oh, green bird for Chula.
Let's see here. What event in the game any of you guys GM do you regret not being able to do or didn't happen?
At Majin.
No, I wasn't that mad about. Okay, no, I got one. The biggest thing that I hated that we couldn't do was pretty much the second half of Space Campaign because I'm an idiot and plan way too goddamn much. Here's a tip for all of you, GM: don't plan too goddamn much you can't finish.
In fairness, like, I think you made a good campaign. The problem is it was supposed to be a one-shot, and it probably should have been a 4-shot. And
Yeah.
I think that was your first GM.
It was my
right?
first thing GMing, and I had no idea how timing worked.
Hey man, listen, like, we all learn things from our first adventures. Like, for example, Evan Ward, I think those first 3 sessions, the 0 sessions that no one will ever get to see because we didn't record yet, I fucking hate those sessions because I did so many things not correct at all, and
Hey, why don't we just use ourselves as bait?
That one's more just on me, just being a moron. But
Like, I don't think you did that bad at all, honestly. I think it's just you have your own sort of like jaded opinion on them because you feel like you could have done better. But like from a player's perspective, it was pretty up to standard.
Here's the thing, Will, I'm on Civ's side on this because I absolutely hate the first 2 sessions of Majin Quest, and I thought the 3rd session where everything came together perfectly. So I think it's really the same thing.
Super hard on your NPC.
I'm gonna be honest.
I love the 3rd session of Majin Quest. It was really good.
Like,
it was so fun.
I used to be super hard on the first sessions I ran, just because like I have a super high standard, and like everyone who talks to me is like will know that I'm really hard on anything I make, like really fucking hard.
Yes.
I think you're wrong. I
Unnecessarily
absolutely
so.
adored Deck of Disasters. That was awesome.
Oh shucks, but like my first campaign was honestly really good. Looking back on it, as a starting point, all the
one
things
with Donahue, or
yeah, the one with Donahue. As a starting point, I thought it was really good because very like for me, a measure of quality is how quick did you learn, and like when your first campaign is a learning experience for like what to do and what not to do, you can chalk up a lot of finger quotes mistakes to like, oh, I'll just not do that, and I haven't since then. Our first campaign had the party grow increasingly chaotic evil to the point where they were just murdering people.
Oops.
By the
I thought
end,
that was Wanted.
yeah, no. That one too. But yeah, you guys had a problem with starting off neutral and winding up hard chaotic evil by the end.
Yeah, that's a really good point in retrospect.
Yeah, but like going into it, it was like I set up a campaign where the very first mission was like they were on this city that was like hanging over a great precipice, and they like invaded a bandit stronghold that started to collapse into the pit as they were trying to escape, and the final boss battle wasn't a fight. It was like an improvised pro wrestling match. And I'm like, okay.
Oh, I remember this.
Yeah, and I'm like, wow, that's actually a really good starting point for, like, the rest of this nonsense. Sure, it's silly. Sure, I threw out the rules halfway through, but that's excellent. I don't know. So, like, I don't know. Looking back on where I started and how far I've come, those starter sessions were great. And, like, based on what I've seen of your guys' material, I don't know exactly 100% the sessions you're being hard on, but I think in retrospect, if, like, me, this self-deprecating asshole, can come to love where he started, you'll probably, like, once you get in the full swing of things and you're really satisfied, you'll start to fall in love with them, because that's where you made your mistakes and got them out of the way.
From my glory days when I was younger and more foolish.
Faust, how was your first campaign?
I got it, honestly.
I am still stupid intimidated to actually finish Idle campaign.
Finish it, it'll be so fun!
Is that the one where Majin's playing that character?
Yes!
I'm playing
I
a Sonic
love
OC!
I love Pinky so much. I love Pinky. I've got my event set up, but I'm afraid it's a little too linear, and I'm trying to figure out potentially ways to expand things, let people do more what they want.
There's nothing wrong with doing a linear adventure as long as you make it interesting and are cool with doing a linear adventure.
That's
I mean,
fair.
the other big thing is that this is a one-shot, correct?
Yes, it is.
Yeah, then that's totally fine.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
I mean, because like take for example, if you watch Fantasy Campaign Episode 2 and well, even Fantasy Campaign 1, and just a lot of our one-shots in general, they are linear. They have the illusion of, oh, you could branch off and do other shit, but you really can't or do.
There's one way to go every time, and you just do it.
Yeah.
And it's not a bad thing, because in a one-shot, you gotta control for that, especially when you want to be done between like a 4 to 7 hour mark, depending on how long you're going. Linearness helps make sure that you're not gonna go 12 hours in or have to stop like, hey, I gotta go to sleep. Are we done yet?
Yeah, exactly.
I've got two things to add. One thing, one of them is the question. What generally disappoints me or what I wish I could have run. There isn't anything like in particular where I'm like, oh, I wish I got to do this in a campaign. It's just general like, I didn't quite deliver on the idea that I had. Like, I'm most interested in producing spectacles for like the people watching. Just like, I want everyone to have a good time, and I want to deliver something that like, I don't have an eloquent way to phrase it, but like if like the mental and emotional states of people are flat planes, I want to like dent them. I want to dent people in a positive way, mind you. I want to like leave an imprint on people in a way that affects them positively and can inspire them to be like positive in their life. And I think making spectacles is always what I aim for with that. And I frequently fall short of that, either just because I don't plan enough, or because of the second thing, which ties into what you were saying about Tula, or not about, but to around
You
For
wafted. Your voice wafted at Chula.
Ugh, God, rude.
Oh,
Ugh.
sorry. My finger slipped off the push to talk key. Oh yeah, I originally, for like streams and things like that, and one-shots, I used to plan extensively because I get crazy anxious and like real bad anxiety about DMing. So I would like over-plan, and then like I'd freeze up and freak out, like, oh my god, how do I keep them on track? They don't want to do this. Like, organically, this isn't how it's happening. Like, because I'm bad at planning. I'm bad at accounting for what other people are going to do. But if I'm good at anything, it's about being fluid and moving with the story. So more frequently, I have stopped planning, actually. I come up with like a general, like, here are ideas and words that I can draw upon, so I'm not just like swimming in a sea of like empty info. For certain campaigns, it's like, oh yeah, okay, here is a vague goal that I want them to accomplish, and then I present it to them at the beginning, and then see where they want to go and try to respond to that. I don't know.
Makes sense.
Yeah. You'll find your voice as a GM eventually. Like, I don't know, I generally just want to run a session that'll impress the people playing and make them feel good. That's it.
You do a very good job at that.
Oh, thanks.
I always really enjoy the streams that you run. Yeah, no, they're really fun. I like it.
Aw.
If I could change something about a campaign I've run, I would have every one of my bosses' icons be Claude Frollo licking a vagina.
Get out!
No, I have a real answer. So, Aram and I have been rewatching Anime Campaign, and there's a lot I change about 1 and 2, but actually, if I had ideal situations, the thing I would change the most is 4. I would make episode 4, I would turn it into a 2-shot, like 6. And I would probably make it like you'd be allowed to pick who you have card game battles against, and that would be how you'd investigate them. And that would take the pressure off the players, but that literally wasn't an option. Everyone's schedule was, I think, the worst it's like ever been.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Worse than 6?
I'm really sorry.
Because there was one day for more than a month that worked for that campaign. If we didn't hit, it was the 11th of September, and if we didn't hit that day, it wasn't going to happen until like late October.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that was mostly my fault.
It was.
So yeah, there have been a lot of good questions that I want to get to. One is, how do you deal with bad players, especially if a bad player is your friend?
Oh. Actually, can I actually answer?
Oh, go ahead.
So I may have not actually done tabletop, like DMing much yet, but I have modded some organized group role plays. Forgive me for this, but they're all Danganronpa murder mysteries and stuff like that. I have a mutual on Tumblr who I've been following for a really long time, and he took interest whenever I put up my advertisements for the last game, sent in an application and actually succeeded. It was a very, very brief, but it was really well written. And as things went on, we realized he was really bad at metagaming and saying a whole bunch of stuff out of character that he shouldn't be saying. It's kind of like a training process, I think. You should probably approach them, actually talk to them about what's going on, and try to be on a level playing field, and that's the most respectful way you can go about it. And he's really improved. It's not quite at top performance yet, but I think being honest and talking about it is the best way to do it.
Absolutely.
That's a very good answer.
If they're really your friend and they want to succeed just as much as you do, and you all want to have a good time, they're not going to feel bad. And you shouldn't feel bad.
I'll add to that as a counterpoint to Chula's very pleasant answer. I'll add some unpleasantness.
Okay.
Like a fine souffle, it'll balance out. Fucking whatever.
Yeah, you gotta have best. You gotta have the both.
So, yeah, I mean, you shouldn't if they're your friend, you should try to treat their feelings with respect and give them their dignity, even if they're not doing very well. And you should try to help them improve. Everything that Chula said is correct. But there is a reality that we've never really had to confront in this group of players because, frankly, everyone's very good. But there is a skill set for doing the kinds of games that we do. Like, it heavily involves how good are you at creative thinking and roleplay and, like, improv. Like, certainly the degree of freedom that our GMs tend to allow our players only works because the players can be relied upon to, like, do good stuff and fill in the blanks. And that is simply not a skill set that everyone possesses. And not to say it can't be learned, it absolutely, you can improve at that with practice.
Definitely a learned skill set because I used to suck.
But it is equally true that there are some people who are naturally much better at it than others, and people who are naturally not very good at it may take a long time to improve to the point where they're not, like, kind of actively being a detriment to your game, and you may have to confront that reality.
Oh, yeah, sorry. I find what's really helpful with everybody is to remind them that it's a cooperative experience and it's not like nobody's trying to win or like show off the most. Everybody's ultimately working together.
Maybe you're not.
Like, ultimately, I don't know. This is just like my goal as a player generally is like you want to support all the other players. You want to make sure to like talk to them, bring out the best in them. You're all cooperating. It's a lot like volleyball. Everything's a bump set and a spike. Just fucking one person throws the ball back and forth. That
Yeah,
sucks.
it's a team activity. We said it earlier also, but it's about having fun. And like, this is a thing where if everybody's not working together, you can't really have fun. And sometimes people don't work together, like, not out of spite or malice, but just because it's like you said, it's a learned skill. They might just not know how to yet.
I have a story to share. So, my first ever tabletop character that wasn't a spook campaign was a campaign that our good friend Keen ran, where I played a rogue. And for that first session, I was very anti-party in the sense, and a bad player. In so much where all I wanted to do was to sneak around and steal from people. I stole things from the players. I was just awful.
We both were, though.
And to not name names, people in the group spoke up. And after the first session, I tried to change my behavior and character to match to be a lot more cooperative. Like, yeah, a little bit of a sneaky sneaker, very annoying to be around, but not annoying to play with, if that makes sense. And that's the thing, just be able to adapt and realize if something is going wrong, it's up too much to of the people around you to speak up. If they're just gonna let you be a shit, I probably would have just not been a good player ever and never be invited to anyone's games because of that.
If I can just pop in real quick, I will admit, while it got a little much at times, there was a hilarious moment where we were investigating a house. And I was playing the paladin of the party. So having a person that loves to steal all the time, I had to keep on coming up with bullshit reasons why my guy doesn't just smite the shit out of him.
Yeah.
And at one point, my character is carefully investigating a murder weapon, and Majin just pops up, I steal it. Why? I am trying to figure out what this murder weapon is for. What are you doing? Want it? That's it?
Yeah. It's a good example of how not to play your characters.
I
think we all learn.
I should also say that going between a GM and a actual player is two completely different skill sets.
I disagree that they're completely different, but I agree that there is much that does not overlap.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'd imagine so.
Okay, Tora.
Like it's a different viewpoint, I guess I should say.
It totally is. And Tora actually responded. It sounds like they approached the player, and the player doesn't seem willing to change. I've actually talked to the, if you know about some of the other things I do, I played with another group called RPPR, and they've answered this question a lot. And the solution that they've come to, and I agree with, is if the player isn't willing to change after you've approached them and had like a thoughtful and considered conversation, then stop playing with them if it's not fun for everybody.
Yeah.
You can cut
So
somebody
that
out of
is
your life.
The solution.
Well, I mean,
Out of your game.
It's
But
very
okay.
easy to murder someone.
If someone
Yeah, if you
if
don't like
there's
'em,
someone you don't
just
like at
kill
D&D, just banish them to the Shadow Realm. It's
Snitches
just
get
that
stitches.
easy.
Goodbye, you little shit.
I mean, it's
Look
a
at
thing
that.
of just you can stop playing with them, but it's also if they're still your friend, you just explain to them. It doesn't mean you guys stop being friends. It's just
Yeah.
you explain, hey, I don't think our styles of playing tabletop and our doing that isn't going to work out for this. So while I still want to be
Yeah.
your friend, I think you should maybe sit out while we do these sessions or something like that, and they should understand if they still your friend.
I feel
Like-
I do wanna add there is a preventative process in this as well. In like, because I know a lot of like people who watch our shows are like just in Discords, and it's like, oh, this looks fun. I want to play with some people. And I know that like has incredibly varying degrees of success rates. I would highly suggest, especially if you're going to do the massive gamble that personally I would never do of playing online with strangers, especially if you've only known them through chat. Then I would do an RP session to check if
Yes.
you think that will
Yes.
work.
Test
Oh.
the waters, sure.
Is Arson Zara still in the chat? Because if so, I want to do a shout out for somebody who actually had watched our stuff and then decided to go out and do his own thing. And I watched their stream the other day, and it was actually pretty nice. I loved the concept. It was great.
Good deal.
I actually have a story of a test one of these. Before our extremely long-running series Rifts, we did
Oh,
actually
God.
a test session. Yeah, you were there.
Yeah, I was there.
So it was myself and Byrne and two other people that we just so happened to find online. And Inferno was the person running it, and we actually had a pretty good time. We were like just kind of playing along, and the guy that we didn't know was actually pretty cool. And then his friend came in like, I want to say 9/10 through the session. Like, sorry,
Yeah,
like his mic was boomingly loud. Like, did not.
The campaign.
Oh no, the campaign was like
This was
one.
not recorded or anything. This was the first session, and we found two random people because we wanted to try and do the Rift session, and this one guy insisted that he bring his friend along, and the friend came in an hour and a half late after we had introduced the characters, got to know each other, figured some stuff out, and went to a certain place. So he just came in, and he's playing what's called a Borg, a cyborg, and his mic was loud and all of that. And do you want to continue the story, Beth?
Yes. Yes, I
Yes, Pip says, leveling his gun.
Bird
Oh.
passes the buck.
So he's ridiculously loud, but you also notice that there's another voice in the background. Apparently, he brought his girlfriend along, and basically, like, this is how he started out his thing. I'm just gonna go in there with a sword, and he busts in with like this freaking like robot dude with like a giant sword, killed every single thing in a row. I'm blasting music super hard for my character as loud as I can. Loud as you can?
Yeah.
And the decibels would like break everyone's eardrums. Yeah, I don't care.
Jesus.
Sounds like
my
you
God.
just the music over the microphone.
Just
Yeah,
cut and
he
run.
starts
Cut
playing
and run.
Iron Man.
That's hilarious.
Yeah.
We immediately stopped the session and never looked back.
That is
Yeah,
the
we
type of
disbanded.
cartoonish shit that you would
Good.
see in like a D&D movie where the protagonists are doing a supercut montage of all the failed auditions for their new party member.
Yeah.
Yeah,
On screen
but
for 20
seriously,
seconds.
seriously, Inferno literally said, "You know that you're going to blast out their eardrums. You're playing that louder than a jet aircraft right next to their ears." Yeah, I don't give a shit.
Oh, this was just some rando you found
You
online?
know, that just sounds like a bad person.
Yeah.
Yes.
I mean,
Yeah.
Oh man, his bones.
okay, let's dial it back for a sec. It honestly, what's probably happening there is you just have a different set of values. Like, some people take the game very seriously, some people take it as a collaborative activity, some people take it as a mechanical activity. It's important to get a read on who you're playing with and what they're really after. If you can massage it as the GM of your group to make sure that everybody gets what they want, well, damn, that's the ideal. But chances are, like, if you have one person who wants to get deep into the mechanics of the game and a bunch of people who despise the mechanics, in a lot of ways that'll be incompatible. Now, the hidden art to GMing, unless you're blessed with a group who all wants the same thing, is making all that work together. So, like, if you're super lucky, you'll have a group where their goal is just to have a good time and they don't care how. But that is the exception. Most people have an image in their head of what they want, and when they don't get that, they start to misbehave. So, like, figuring out what people want and trying to massage that together is the GM's greatest responsibility, and my friend, it is a tiring one, and I empathize deeply.
That's a great answer, Jay. Damn.
Yeah, that is very insightful.
Thanks. There's a really cool question about I'm thinking of running an open world game or a semi-open world game. How would you go about that? Here's what I'm doing. My next game
Yeah,
is...
wait, didn't you do that for Ryutama?
Sort of. Ryutama is very nice because it's not hard to prepare. My next game's going to be an open world game 100%, and I'm trying something new of over-preparing, writing everything down, and then maybe at some point in the future
You're
release...
essentially building a setting book, aren't you?
Yeah, no, I want to release the setting at the future. It's in the future at some point because
At the future.
At the I'm so very tired.
When we get there.
But no, basically, like, I'm just over preparing like nuts, and like, if this is not the recommended method because this is new territory for me. I don't know anyone who's run an open world game, but what I want to do is over prepare, and then I'll have all this material, and I ideally can turn it into something at some point, like releasing it on Drive-Thru RPG.
I'm super excited for it.
RPG, or like Kickstarter or some shit. That's my plan. But the thing with an open world game is if you go the over prepare route, you will have a lot of stuff that just hits the cutting room floor, and like you've gotta, it's gonna go in one direction or the other. You follow what Faust was describing earlier, which is play it by ear, improv everything, like come up with vague notes and just stick to that, or you over prepare. In one of them, you lose a lot of material, but like if you can find a way to put that to work, that's excellent.
Yeah. I can only barely speak to that because I've only done anything in that realm, and everything I've ever done is a one-shot because I don't have the time. But
that is fair enough.
If I know for how I run combat in anime campaign, here's a little secret if you're ever designing a million different possible encounters. So I write down stat sheets for every NPC, antagonist, etc. And then I don't look at them. So I will just know what a character can, and you can't do this with like Pathfinder or whatever because there's numbers and shit. But like knowing basically what works and being content that like I kind of know this world and I'm prepared to roll with it. I don't know. It's like it's a little easier than you probably think as a GM to create the illusion of open world because it's a little easier to do like everything as a GM than you think, because while you're GMing you feel like you're doing terribly but you're actually not, which is one of the few benefits of like streaming shit, because afterwards you get to look back and it's like, wow, I thought that long pause took like one whole minute, but
10
it was like
minutes. Yeah.
it took a second. Jesus.
Yeah.
Time dilation while streaming or like playing it's real. It's insane.
I feel like I actually sat for like 30 full seconds a while, like in an Aram Pain game, because I was going to say something, and in that moment I entirely forgot what I was going to say, and someone ended up having to save my butt.
Yeah, I mean, that is something I've learned with watching Evan Ward back. Is there's a lot of times where I'm like, ooh, probably could have done that a little better. And I look back and go, oh, okay, you know what, that didn't go so bad actually. That was actually fine.
That's TI in a nutshell for me, honestly. Like, I always think I do worse than I did. I always, like, I always find problems with what I do. Frequently. Every time.
You should. That's how you get better.
Absolutely.
It is. That's the important
Definitely.
part. To find problems with what you do, but don't let that defeat you.
The worst thing you could say to another human individual is "good job."
Oh,
It doesn't
I
improve anything.
fucking hated that growing up.
What,
I
being
I
told
hated
good job, or
everybody
being
saying,
told that you
I
shouldn't
think-
tell people good job?
I
The
think
being told that I did a
sometimes
good job
Oh.
because I wanted constructive criticism. Sorry.
I think sometimes that you kind of need that positive boost, even if if you know what you're doing isn't perfect.
Well, then let me
It's
rephrase.
like cracking your someone like, sorry, what's the word I'm looking for? Whacking at
Crunching your
esteem. I guess so.
Loving the crunch?
Punching your hunch?
Did you just
Oh.
bring Crunch and Munch into this?
Also, actual constructive criticism, because if you just say, "Oh, that isn't how I would have done that," it doesn't provide anything, and I've had people actually say that to me.
Then let me
Try not to
rephrase.
make it comparative, because making it comparative feels really bad if you're doing criticism.
I'm
Let me
gonna-
rephrase. You could always say, "I like what you did here when you did the blah blah blah." What I think could have been improved is definitely here when you blah blah blah. Don't just say "good job" outright.
I'm gonna. I wanna actually provide a counterpoint. I think I do agree. For the most part, it is bad to just get told, it was good. But at the same time, you can definitely fall into the trap, especially if your group is full of a bunch of smarty pantses of trying to get too clever with what you could do better. A lot of times, you did just do a good job, and overanalysis will drive you mad. So there is such a thing as overthinking and trying to get too clever with it. Sometimes you
Yeah.
just did okay.
My favorite, as someone who does art and improv and writing for a living, and all of those got critique in every single class and club I was ever in. My favorite critique method is the shit sandwich, which is good thing, bad thing, good thing about the work, because
I
that
like
gives
that.
something to improve and then twice as much praise.
Yeah.
True.
It also lets you get very good at faking compliments when there are no good things.
Oh no!
That's a skill.
You just reminded me of something, Jello. I remember you told me once you didn't hate Skyward Sword at the time you played it. When you realized it was when you sat down to write a review, and you did that, and you did good thing, several bad things, and then realized you didn't have a second good thing to put at the other end, and you were like, wait, do I actually hate this game?
Oh, God.
And the answer was yes, I do.
Oh.
Oops. Also, I'm going to butt in and say we should
Unfortunate.
probably start wrapping up so that Stabby doesn't die.
That's fine.
Oh, that's a fair point.
Yeah.
Go to bed.
Yeah,
Take a nap.
we could probably take a few more questions and then
Yeah, a couple more
dip
questions
off.
and then calm down for the night.
I expect a shit sandwich from all of you after my quest.
Oh,
With 50 different.
I got a big helping coming for you, buddy.
Thank you.
Big servants.
Because we kind of got off topic of the open world thing, and I'm just waiting for more questions to show up. So what I'm doing right now for a maybe thought world campaign that I may or may not do in the future is I have like 3 big plot hooks, none of which are necessary, but like there's like a very nebulous like this one kind of relates to this one kind of relates to this one of the 3 big ones, and this one kind of relates to this one relates to these 2. And like there's plot hooks everywhere, but like the players can choose to follow up on or ignore as many as possible. So like if they don't like the go fight this big ass monster bad guy plotline, they can just fucking ignore that. It doesn't
Are you
matter.
making a Skyrim TTRPG?
Oh no, but I would love to play an Everyone is John set in Skyrim.
Oh, that would be so fun.
Oh man!
Oh.
Would that be possible to like do with like actually streaming the game?
I mean, we've done that before. We've streamed Everyone is John once.
No. I mean streaming Skyrim.
I mean, I guess, but why would you want to look at Skyrim?
That's a good point.
What about that new HD re-release when the game switched from HD to HD?
You know what's
Which one?
amazing?
There were 5.
So if you had bought all the Skyrim DLCs, which I have because I'm a nut, is you got the HD remake for free. So I installed it and looked at it. Everything looks worse but the water, which was just beautiful, excellent. Give me 7 more Skyrims.
Oh gosh.
I'd give this 7 Skyrims out of 7.
Clearly, they
Here's a
should be
question.
making Skyrim Waterworld Edition.
Here's a question for Majin, because I actually have heard different answer things for this. Are we going to see more of Sue and Rover's excellent adventure?
Here is the plan. So for those of you who kept up Imagine Quest, I just want to finish the first adventure on that. Then I'm going to rope in Keen, and it's going to be all work onto the second adventure of Filler Campaign. That is a promise. I did not drop this. I even asked Will for character concepts a long time ago. It is going to be a thing. The thing that was delayed it the most is because our friend Keen had a huge shitty situation about moving in, but that's done now. So all the thing was holding me back was all the work I put into Magic Quest. I just want to get that out of the way before I switch gears.
Word up.
I get to play in it.
Yeah, there's two
Yeah,
questions
Jula's
I
even
want
playing
to
it.
answer really quick. One of the questions is just a short one.
You right there?
Yeah, right there.
My computer is freaking out. Somebody wants to know if I will continue the flower eating machine, and I absolutely will. Upwind is my main project right now, but once I'm like comfortable with workload, then I definitely intend on continuing the sunflower eating machine, because that was one of my favorite, if not my favorite streams ever. That I've run personally, I should say.
That was a super memorable
Yeah,
one.
and all of you have run much better streams than I have. The second question is, why do you dislike fighting? Personally, this is something that I've been thinking about a lot. Originally, it was just because Pathfinder is a terrible system, and like, combat is just like the part where
Is that why you didn't
out.
build anything for your character combat-wise?
I winked very loudly. It started with not enjoying Pathfinder rules for combat because it felt like just a halt to the story you were telling, and it was like, oh, okay, guess I'll break out my graph calculators. But as I've played more and more games and kind of exploded myself, exposed myself to a bigger market and like a bunch of different design philosophies, I kind of dislike the defaulting to like fighting and conflict, like physical violence, as a shorthand for like obstacles. Like it's the easy way to do it. It's like cheating your way into theatrics. Like it's way too often done because it's the easiest thing that we've all just sort of not randomly, but unconsciously accepted as what you do when you play a TTRPG.
Yeah, I wanna
kill.
actually. Well, no, like I actually want to break it down the way a lot of games do. Basically, sessions are broken down into what we call encounters. Traditionally, an encounter is fighting, but what an encounter is, in shorthand, is something that usually takes between 30 minutes to an hour, based on, like, most encounters. Like, fighting is bad because frequently those finger quotes encounters tend to drag on, or get very samey, or just be uninteresting. It's why people mostly like trap rooms, but like all things, encounters should be varied and fun. Fighting's just the most classic encounter. It's a bunch of goblins. You fight a bunch of goblins. Like, if you do that 3 times in a row, it's gonna be boring as shit. You gotta vary your encounters, fighting or not.
Yeah, like not just the fact that it's like a boring thing, but like the very act of violence being such a definitive like go-to in all tabletops is something I've really become bored with. It's far more interesting to me to have like different kinds of obstacles. Like today I played a game called Witch Quest. The biggest obstacle we had in that was, I think, getting a big barrel of cheese to like the town hall, and it was a simple problem, but the entirety of the game was extremely satisfying. Like I'm still trying to figure out why I derive more satisfaction from things outside of combat, but yeah.
I agree, actually. I am entirely in the same boat. Combat is just kind of like sitting and waiting for your turn. I don't find that as much interesting.
Combat's fun. I'm gonna play devil's
I'm
advocate
with you.
and say that combat's fun, and like especially because when people get like shenanigan-y, I frequently I think combat is pretty much the same as, or it has the potential to be the same as any other problem with any other solution. If you find a clever way to beat it, it'll be clever and fun, and if you find a boring-ass way to beat it, it'll be boring-ass. Like,
yeah, I think that, like, base RPG combat can be really boring. When you start thinking about it as, like, your characters moving and interacting in 3D space, it can start getting really interesting.
Yeah, like, say you have a task that's like Golden Sky Stories is shit, like, repair a mill. If your answer to repair a mill is get parts to repair the mill from, like, a granary or, like, a storage house, and then just fix the mill and brute force roll a bunch of times and congrats, you fixed the mill, that would be just as boring as there are a group of goblins in front of you, beat them until they die.
Like, here's the thing, too. Combat's going to be as interesting as well as in parts of what the GM does to help you with that. If you just have beat up the goblins, you just have beat up the goblins. But if you're just in this meat house with, like, these meat monsters or zombies that come out from the meats, and you have these hooks that you can have them to, like, draw them up to the ceiling, or buzzsaws on the side you can push them in, that's where combat's going to get a lot more
on
fun.
the slide, you could put a pesky paladin in if she gets too uppity.
Yeah. It's like, there's the thing. If you're just, the mechanic of it's just beat it up until it's dead, then your GM's not giving you too many tools. I mean, so as a player, you could come up with as many tools as you want, but as a GM, throw some bones of, like, making it more interesting, and the monster has more than just he hits you.
Rule number one, always, is don't waste people's time. That is, like, critical, combat or not. Combat can frequently become wasting people's time, but, like, non-combat encounters, like, let's say there's a trap room where you need to move one square at a time, tentatively testing everything, don't do that shit either. Don't waste everybody's time for actually no reason.
I'll be right back.
Extends to being a player, so make sure you have your move set out before it gets to your turn, because you have 5 minutes.
The only excuse you have, if, like, somebody did something that moved previously that really did fuck up your plan, after you say, I was going to do this, but now you can all see that's impossible and you need a second, that's fair. But please just think about it beforehand.
Yeah, I mean, that's my big beef, and that's why I get annoyed when people say, well, combat's long and boring. Like, combat is long and boring if people don't know what the fuck they're doing.
Exactly.
If it comes to your turn and you're a fighter and you're like, I just don't know what my plan is, get out of here. You have one job. It is get close and hit the thing. Okay? You should not be having a difficult time figuring out what you're doing. If you're a wizard, chances are you have an idea of what your first turn is, which is mage armor. Then your next turn is doing something else that could help the party, whether that be haste or using burning hands or whatever seems ideal for the situation. You are given about 10 minutes between your turn to figure out what you're doing. You need to think about it before it gets you. That's why combat's long.
I'm gonna devil's advocate a little further. Not only will I jump in to defend combat, I will jump in to defend Pathfinder or, like, similar systems where they're not.
People on Discord?
I'm sorry.
How do you ban people on Discord?
Oh, I see.
Only Jake can.
First they came for the Pathfinders, and I did not speak up because I was not a Pathfinder. There are systems like Pathfinder where improv can certainly be incorporated into the game, but it is not really fundamentally part of the game that you're going to look up in the rule. Like, if it happens, it'll be because your GM is cool and, like, tries to work it in. And I believe that while there's certainly not the set of games that map very well to most of the players, like, in this Discord right now, I do want to state that I don't think they are lesser games. I think they are games with a different focus, that they are descended, like, DNA-wise from, like, miniatures battles games. Like, D&D originally was basically like a, let's scale down a large-scale, like, miniatures fighting battle game. And you can tell that, like, that's part of their lineage, but, like, it means that they were designed first and foremost for people who, like, what they're looking for out of the game is, like, I'm going to design a character and then I'm going to play them, like, super clever in combat and try to overcome these challenges within the rules that have been stated, like, set out. So I'm just going to say, like, I think they are not inherently worse than RP and improv heavy games. They're just aimed at a different set of people.
I have a devil to your advocate.
Oh gosh.
This will go on forever if you let it.
Oh, I like to get my trap
What Pip
card.
has to say, actually.
I think these particular systems was made because the GM and player had a fight between each other saying, no, I should win, no, I should win. Okay, let's solve this through some dice rolls and some stats. That's how I think every single thing is made in here. I think we've moved past that point and actually gotten down to like the GM going like, yeah, maybe my goal isn't just to murder the player.
Okay, that's a really good point. I actually totally agree with that. Like, I think that maybe D&D was founded on the fact that the players and the GM had a competent relationship.
So yeah, they were at odds. That's really what it looks like.
Yeah, because recently I've been playing a lot of Japanese TTRPGs that it came out like 10 decades ago. Like Witch Quest came out decades ago, and it is like it's where I consider Western TTRPGs to be just now getting to.
I don't know. I'm gonna scale it back and also say that a lot of these games are pretty carefully designed so that the median player can get thrown into an encounter that is both thrilling and to the wire. Like, the main point of D&D has always been to almost kill your players and then let them win. You're overlooking a lot if you forget that boss design is based on that. And these numbers are tuned to almost kill you, but not quite.
So one of my favorite D&D stories I've ever read/heard is the Old Man Henderson story, which is a very good example of this, where a DM is overstepping bounds and killing their players. So one player creates Old Man Henderson. And you know what? I'm gonna link
Call
this.
of Cthulhu or Trail of Cthulhu one where they wrote
a
novel? Yeah!
Yes, it is! Oh my god, I love it so much. Hold on, let me link it to people so they can read it on their own time because it's the best.
While you're doing that,
I've got to sign off for the night, guys. I'm getting very sleepy.
Good night.
Good night. Thank you.
I think
thanks for a
the
wonderful time. Congrats on Twitch affiliate.
Yeah, congrats.
The original question was, Faust, why do you hate combat or fighting? And I'm also in that camp. But I want to say, hopefully as an end to this particular question, because we've been talking about it for 15 minutes, is much like everything else in a tabletop game, combat is only as interesting as you make it to be. And the type of combat I fucking can't stand is you go into a dungeon, a temple, a cave. Wow, nice one there, Gary Gygax. Where'd you come up with that? And a goblin. Wow, like that to me, I can't even imagine deriving enjoyment from that. And I am a public. I'm a very open Team Faust. I would much rather play an upwind, RP-ish improv thing. I think that's obvious. But I've been playing longer than anything else a Pathfinder game that Aram runs, and I never hate it, despite how much I hate Pathfinder as a base system compared to other games. Because I think Aram does a wonderful job of adding something to every combat and adding mechanics. First of all, almost every adventure has something unique about it. But in Adventure 6, you added a little bit of Fire Emblem turn-based business, sort of, where there was a huge fight on a bridge with two warring factions, and we were basically higher-ups in one faction, and had to make our way across the bridge. And we spent the entire adventure doing shit that would help or hinder us on that bridge, which was very cool and very good payoff, and it was a huge combat moment, and it took fucking forever, but it was great, and it was super satisfying because we'd worked towards it, and also it was based in player options and player agency.
I think there's a unique delight to be had in a very intentionally designed encounter, combat or not. Jello, you are big on huge climactic boss fights, and they are all always excellent. I think when you get into the nitty-gritty, there is beauty and artistry to be had in mechanically designing a perfect fight. There's a lot to it, and when it all clicks and it all works together, those are the best moments in TTRPGs, for me at least.
I absolutely loved the Mecha Yumta fight.
Yeah.
That was a spectacle. I will say that was great.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm never gonna top that ever.
It's hard without combat to build something that's that mechanically complex. Like, mechanical complexity in itself can be a fun part of your campaign. Ultimately, it comes down to what you're looking for in your experience. If you're looking to roll some dice and get some things done, like storytelling-wise, yeah, like an Upwind's definitely your best bet. Like, if you want to tell like a grand sweeping story, cool. But if you want to design like your boss very intricately, Upwind is not the game for you.
No, yeah, that's a good point. Upwind is a very fluid, soft edges game.
Yeah, so like, if you've got a very specific image for a fight and you want to strike a lot of cool moments, I'd recommend a different system. It just depends on what you're looking for.
Yeah, Burn and Jay both mentioned this earlier, that they're like, you have to figure out like what everyone is into in your system. So I would like, if Aram just silently removed combat from our Pathfinder campaign, you wouldn't hear me complaining.
You might
But
hear
like, I can imagine.
Fighter. I got fuck all to do after that.
Yeah, I can totally imagine that Will would be royally pissed off. And I know there are players who like sit down and like fuck RP and honestly a little fuck story. I just want to like sit down. I came down from my shitty job today. I just want to beat some shit up. Like, you know, that's like, there's video games for that. There's TTRPGs for that. So that's something to keep in mind when gathering your players, when picking a system, which is why it is a good idea to run like an RP or even just sit down and be like, hey, what do you guys want from this?
Yeah.
Yeah. Ask everyone in here, like you guys have been seeing, everyone has a different opinion. We have a friend, Lamp, who is adamant about loving combat more so than most people.
Lamp has
in
a
here.
combat fetish.
I think she's the only one who loves combat here as much as she does.
I really like.
didn't know that.
I really like combat when the GM is really into it. Ultimately, it's like, my position is whatever the GM is enthusiastic about will be the best part of the system, combat or not. Like, it ultimately, like, when people work on what they really like, that's always going to be the shining example of like whatever thing you're playing. So like, if your GM loves combat, like, fucking, I don't know, maybe try to roll with it and see what they see in it. If your GM really likes story, try to roll with that. Try to see what it's like to experience a less combat-oriented game. Or if they like a balance, like, I'd call Anime Campaign a balance between combat and story. Like, try to balance yourself as well. Read the people around you and try to play into that, even as a player, not as a GM.
Example, I'm so happy 6A and 6B were separated because the 6B boss fight was very different before 6A, where we impromptu added my new favorite mechanic of combining turns. And I was like, that would be a great thing to just focus on. And instead of fighting this stupid, shitty villain who shouldn't even exist, just everyone add a bunch of nails to this guy's fists in their own special way. Like, that works. Ooh, also, I would like to nominate the final question for the night as, shit, where is it? My scroll wheel is broken. Cobble Lord just asked it. What's your favorite character concept that you never actually got to play?
I mean, I have one where I hope I'm going to play in the future.
I have one that I really, really hope that I want to play for the Halloween one with Aram.
Yeah, this is...
And that is the stupid, dumb, strong orc guy.
This is a hard question for me because I am uniquely blessed by being a GM of many campaigns, and all the characters I want to play are generally played. So I'm gonna duck out of this question. This is all you guys.
So there's a character I want to play for Keen's eventual long-standing campaign, which is a vigilante. If you guys don't know about Pathfinder vigilantes, they kind of have dual personalities, where one of them is kind of the social savant, talk to people, be very good at diplomacy. The other is like the combat masked superhero persona that they pick up, which I think is really interesting to put into a character, or just think of two characters and put them together. So I'm really excited to play that because I just want to play. Because then the story of this is just we're all childhood friends come together. So my first character, the social guy, is just very don't want to do any of this. Just likes to be around his friends, not into the whole adventuring business. The second guy is pure adventure, go into the Count of Goblins. His whole backstory is he gets left, and his whole family are just superheroes. So he gets left into a goblin village, like, survive and I'll pick you up in a month. And he just can't in his first personality. He hates it. So he goes back into his make-pretend, imaginary superhero persona, and that just becomes him to survive in this goblin village for a month. And it's just, I'm so excited when we get to do that. I think that's going to be the funnest thing I ever get to play.
It's a gob-eat-gob world.
I was actually, while we're still on that specific campaign topic, I was actually going to bring up that one. My backstory isn't as fleshed out yet, but Harfix Sprocketstep, who is my H character, is a tap dancing gnome. It's just, stealth is gonna be very hard. I'm really looking forward to that.
Oh, excellent. I'm gonna, I guess I can share my character too for that since I'm excited for it. Since it's a legit campaign that Aaron's running and I don't want to ruin it with Ballast McGee as summoner again.
Oh boy.
I watched, I was catching up on The Calm today because I haven't watched TI, and I was watching it on a different monitor while drawing, and I just heard like, I can be your mage girl, and I was like, huh, that's a funny joke. What if Ballast McGee showed up, turns head Jay, you motherfucker.
that's anger in the background.
Matt angry yelling even though he's not in the scene.
I'm
yeah.
so happy about that.
Oh my god, that was so good. I'm gonna, for Aaron's tomb, I'm going to be playing a White Mage Arcanist, which is one of my favorite archetypes that is not good. You have the ability to use Arcane Reservoir points to spontaneously convert spell slots to Cure Wounds, which in non-Pathfinder terms is you can turn all of your magic into cure spells by spending up a special resource, which is fun, and you're an arcane spellcaster. Wizards normally can't heal that good. But yeah, no, I want to play a cleric whose like main shtick is she was the cleric in an adventuring group that saved the world, like 10 plus years ago, and that's the only thing she has on her resume at this point, and she's been hired on to a bunch of different groups who also thought that they had destinies, and they've all died horribly under her watch. So she's like, this is group number 11, and she's like a little jaded at this point, but kind of hopeful. Like,
it's actually kind of similar to what Vertical Troy was originally.
Really? That's funny.
Go ahead.
Let's see here. For a campaign, I don't know if we're running it anymore. I really wanted to play a Goliath Pugilist, and the gimmick is that he is big, friendly Russian man. And the only reason why...
This is Rykov Morisov.
This is Rykov Morisov, whose nickname would change every session because of a different event that would happen. So, like, first session is he breaks out of jail, so he's Rykov Chainbreaker Morisov.
Oh,
And
God.
later on, I had a plan of that if he kills a guy in a really cool way, like if he puts a chain around someone's neck and throws them and snaps their neck, he becomes Rykov the Gallows Morisov. And he would just change it every time because he doesn't know what he wants to be. But before he went to prison, he was a very, very mean, aggressive Goliath. But then during a raid killing all these people, he looked down and saw this tiny mouse that was afraid of everything that was happening. And he picked up... There wasn't that one. And he picked up the mouse and he named it Rasputin. And it is his conscious now. And if anyone hurts this mouse, he will go ape shit. But he is normally very pleasant and very friendly, and one of the gimmicks for his backstory was he actually, the first time he went into the prison, he was like, okay, where am I? Oh, you're actually like hundreds of feet underground. Oh, so I can go out. Okay. Bends bars, walks out, and has to get shot with like 30 sleep darts before they put him down, put him back in jail. He goes, oh, I try again. And he just bends the bars again and just keeps leaving but not killing anyone.
Oh gosh.
I really wanted to play that character, and the best part is because he's a pugilist, he's proficient with impromptu weapons and shit. So I found out that he's better at throwing a crossbow than firing one.
That's so funny. I love that.
So I really wanted to play him, and I'm hoping I can play a character like him in the future.
Foss, can you describe Rozanov and Gildovich?
Wow.
So these are characters. This is a character I'm playing. So like, if anybody is familiar with Rosencrantz and Guildenstern, it's basically that, except we're Russians. It's me, and he's on some of the 3W streams. He's a great dude. His name is James, and we've got this bit that I guess we just sort of like naturally are good at, where we both play Russians who, except instead of being, Russians, we're Rosencrantz and Guildenstern. And it's really fun to do.
So like, yeah.
And there's normally we talk kind of like this, and we are very bad at English. But then there's a section of the campaign where we travel to World War One, Two.
It's like it's 20s Russia, I think.
Okay, it's 20s Russia, and like we're fluent in Russian, but we ourselves can't speak Russian. So whenever we have like moments where we're speaking to other Russian characters, we move into like the, yes, hello, I am here talking to my Russian brethren. How is your day going?
So,
Oh my god.
I love that, but you failed to mention the most interesting part of the character. Both Faust and James don't know which one they're playing, Rozanov or Gildovich.
Oh my god.
And they
Oh
will
my god.
silently trade character sheets. One of them has 3 HP and will die to anything.
No, I have 1 HP.
You have
I was gonna
1
say,
HP.
is that the one Faust made?
Yes. The other one has
Yeah,
like 40
no, we
plus HP
swap
and is
character sheets like often. It's amazing.
And then my favorite part is they meet Rasputin, and fucking Rasputin's the campaign's Rasputin Must Die. It's a gimmick campaign, based on a pamphlet. This is an actual thing that you can buy, but like...
Yeah, it's a real campaign, by the way.
Yeah, no, the last boss is Rasputin, and my favorite part of this bit is like, they start going into the back and forth, getting confused about who is who, like no, you did that this morning, yes, I did that this morning. Rasputin has a character sheet too, and I hand it to one of them, take one of theirs, and he enters the bit as well, and suddenly one of them is the villain. It's a really fun gimmick.
Dear God.
Yeah, and is there anybody else left?
Yeah, I have one.
Me too, I guess.
I get to do a lot of fun concepts based on shitty fucking powers that I come up with, because Anime Campaign's a nice system like that. And I also get to go like, what if I did Brock from Pokemon but gender swapped and everyone was equally fucking just grossed out by her, and then took it to the natural extreme? And I'm gonna name her Charles for no reason. So I get to do shit like that. But a PC character I've always wanted to do is the meathead, like, muscle, like, biker, like, piece of shit first 5 maps Fire Emblem one-off bandit boss type character who's like normally just like, yeah, I've got a big ass axe and I'm gonna kill everyone. I'd love to do that, but like it's this huge person who is then a mage with Tiddlywinks like shitty powers.
I like that a lot.
But they have the personality of a huge biker guy.
Prepare for magic missile, bitch.
Yeah, I wish I had more fun character concepts, but if I think of them, I either like write them down and use them for like a future anime campaign or cornucopia character, or usually what happens is I get a prompt and come up with like 3, like, hey, we're doing a YouTube stream making fun of YouTube. What should I be? I guess these are the options.
Peppa, the British unboxing girl.
I'll be an unboxing character. I could do this based off a thing Aram and Will and I did one time. What are the energy levels of the other 2 characters like? Low. Alright, I can't do that then. I'll be British but the same character!
Oh god.
Oh no. Sue?
So mine's kind of doesn't really count, but I guess it's been so long since I played the character. It was briefly mentioned earlier, the player character I am in Lamp's campaign, which is backburnered for now, but hopefully coming soon to a Twitch stream near you or something, I'm not sure. His name is Ravi, and he's a very different brand of tiefling from what I'm sure most of the chat knows, which is Marcus. So, like, you know, charming, like, pretty sort of, like,
Spaghetti
indie,
man.
devilish sort of guy. The Candy Man. The exquisite drunken Candy Man. And, like, sorry, I just had to say that. My version of tieflings, because this was like just a starting up thing where Lamp had made all of the lore for the campaign, so I basically got to make up all of the lore for tieflings. And so Ravi is this like almost 7 foot tall man with pink hair and like tattoos all over his body, and he is just beefy as hell and speaks like 2 words a session maybe, and like all of his character interactions are done through like what is the word? It's on the tip of my tongue.
Tip of the tongue comes out every month.
Yeah, you can see it on Joe Apocalypse's channel.
It's very like hand motions and stuff, and like charades.
Charades,
and
yeah.
that sort of stuff. What? Yeah, gestures and stuff. That's the word I was going for. Thank you. So like he's very like one note in terms of what he can do for combat. He just fucking punches people. But see, we make these Pathfinder jokes and these no grappling jokes. He was my first proper D&D character that I've made recently. Like and nobody told me that grappling was terrible. And he's a grappler. That is his main thing. He gets in there, grabs a guy, lights himself on fire, and then punches him out. I don't know if there has been a combat that we have taken part in that Ravi has not been knocked out by the end of it.
Yeah, no, Varys and Ravi both get their asses kicked all the time, and it's needed.
Yeah. God. Oh my god, that party's so good.
It's a good party.
Like, it's a good party, yeah. But like in terms of like him being just like, I think probably my favorite character to play is because he's so low key. There's so much stuff that I don't have to like worry about in terms of like I guess performance anxiety for like improv and stuff. And like he's such a subtle character. Like whenever he does anything, there's so much personality behind it because it's like, oh, if he did a thing. Oh.
I always love watching Ravi in the background because you know he's doing something.
Yeah, that's a good bit that he has usually. Is there's like main conflict going on in the foreground. He's just doing something like peacefully out of character, like looking at a butterfly.
Aw. That's my favorite thing to do on Sock, just stuff in the background.
Oh yeah.
Big characters are good. Play more big characters, they're good.
Yeah, they're kind of like, they're very similar characters now that I think about it. They're like a fire and ice sort of thing.
Oh, they
because
get
I guess
along
they both
great. Oh my
yeah,
god,
definitely, because they come from like very bizarre societies and like are interested in new customs and cultures and stuff.
And like looking at butterflies in the background
Yeah.
while people talk about the plot.
Yep.
So
I think I'm gonna dodge out. I'm getting real tired.
Yeah, I'm gonna say I think now is a good time to wrap it up. You are sick, Shabby. It is.
Yeah, it's true.
I'm putting my foot onto you, down.
Okay. Yeah. No, I'd like to.
I'm putting my foot up into your spleen.
Okay. Yes, but I'd like to thank everybody who came out to the stream. I wanna, before we go, I'd like to ask, like, what custom emote would you guys want for the channel? I don't know which. Do you want like we could have like a Tolkien that's barking. We could have a foe, the little thing in the background that you see right there. We could probably have Steve Up. I don't really want Steve Up, honestly. But if the demand is high enough, I probably wouldn't do an imp because that's Matt's magic.
I'm surprised at you, Jay. That is racist against terrible people.
Oh my god, yeah. So like, if
me, girl.
I'm probably gonna post like a poll on my Twitter immediately after this, or fuck it, I'll make a poll right now.
You should make a poll after this.
No, I'm gonna make a poll right now. It takes 2 seconds. Say nice things to the stream.
Someone
Oh, we love you. We love you, chat.
Someone also pointed out imps. Imps would be good.
Yeah, that's
Yeah, but that's more of a
that's
TI thing
Matt's thing,
specifically.
Oh, that's fair. That's very fair.
Hi guys. Thank you guys, chat. I love you.
Bye.
Wait, what?
Bye.
We love you.
We're not
Bye.
going yet, though.
I still love them. I absolutely love them, and that is okay.
So I'm entering in Tolkien, ba 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 ba, foe, fluff, dog.
Mind if I stick in the character that I never got to?
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
Go for it.
Go ahead.
Oh, I hope it's the one you've mentioned to me.
Yes. That's one of the two. Is the I just want a character that's fun to throw things. Just one time, I would like a character that is not just throwing things, but throwing things interestingly, or finding interesting things to throw. It's a great concept, but whenever I get it down, almost every single time, I just need a weapon on hand because there's just
not enough
two
shit to
things
throw.
that are actually usable to throw, and everything else is trash. So it gets down to I guess I'll just hold a pack of spears, and oops, I just made a spear throwing character instead of just I'll find something neat to throw.
Yeah.
My other character that I really like to make, and I have made multiple times, is Barian.
That's what I was gonna say. Barian was great.
I want him to actually be a character because he's actually one of the only characters that I've made an actual backstory for, and is a really fun character concept with a really fun boy. Hello, Barian.
Yeah, Barian was great in Monster of the Week.
But Barian has two curses, in and out of game. One in, one out. And the out of game is more important one. He never lasts more than 5 sessions of anything, because the campaign just dies.
Rip in peace, Marion. Well, thank you everybody for coming out. The thing is now in chat if you want to vote on an icon. I have no idea if I'm gonna go with the most popular one. I'll just probably use it as information and then see what's doable and looks good.
I don't know.
Steve is not an option.
You gotta keep in mind that at least if you're going for emotes, you're gonna have to make one 112 by 112, 64 by 64, and 16 by 16.
They need to be cute and small.
Yeah.
No Ballast McGee? Yeah, no Ballast McGee.
You could make Ballast McGee's hat.
Oh man, no Ballast McGee. Ballast
No.
McGee has to be a surprise.
Oh.
So yeah, thank you everybody for coming out to the stream and for supporting Stabby. He's a super great dude.
And now we can support him by letting him go to bed.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Good night, sweet prince.
Good night, everybody.
Good night.
Good night.
Bye bye. Toodles.
Boy.
Bye.